we go. Got 4 people watching. Hey, everyone. So this is Yuri, as some of you may know, or my Yuri, depending on if you're on the Discord or not. Let me get this stuff offline. Alright, so I'm going to fire up a random project in the background, and we're going to work on it. In this case, it really could be anything. So I'm going to go to my UModel export folder, and I would show this stuff, but again, I have my own information on here. The tutorial's on its way. Hopefully I can push it out today if I really want to. But we're going to work on some simple reskins, one of which is probably going to be an auto rack. Because auto racks are pretty easy to do. Relatively. Again, that kind of is me getting ahead of myself. So we're going to go deal with the Oakville one, because the Oakville one has a couple more mapping adjustments than some of the others. In fact, we can almost use the NS Auto Rack for a Conrail, if I can get it set up real quick. So let's bring up the body for the Conrail, just so we have a baseline reference. And then we'll pull up the decals panel. These should be showing up. I think they won't be, but I know how to make them show up. Paint.net. Activate. There we go. And I gotta make sure that this fits the screen, because everything's been kind of having an issue of stretching to fit. Stretch to screen. There we go. That's what I was having issues with slideshow. Let me just go adjust the slideshow super quick. It was going to be transform, stretch to screen. There we go. That's why that looked so weird. Hey, my friend Nick Floyd's on. Alright. There's a chance I might have to take a quick break in a moment. But anyways, we're going to get started with this, and there is going to be music in the background. I'm going to keep it so we can see full standard resolution. Yeah, the problem was, for some reason, OBS is not stretching properly. So I had to, like, stretch beyond the boundaries of OBS to, like, get things working. So what we're going to do today, I've done Norfolk Southern, I've done, like, CSX, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the original decals, because this is the NS decal, but this gives me a baseline for what I want to do. This is, yeah, I can kind of tell. It's only in your Discord thing, so... I am in the voice streaming channel of TSC. Could hop on another channel, but there's people talking right now. Yeah, Casey, if you, I'm on the other thing. If you want to hop in, it's the TSC's Discord chat. Should be like video, voice streaming 1 or 2. I don't remember which one. Anyway, so the next thing I normally do, and I'll turn this on for you guys so you can see it, is I tend to frequent, I'll just go to Google just for the sake of it, even though it's going to show my Google account, which I don't want it to show. In which case, let's actually start this in private, just because it prevents any of my data getting out. What I tend to do if I'm doing these is I try to look for the official logo, which is a pretty big deal when you're doing this stuff. Also, the music, I have a screenshot I can take of all of the music because it's playing through VLC right now, so everyone will get a list of the songs that are in this. There's one that I can't find the title to, though. But all of them will show up in the listing, and some of them you'll find on YouTube, some you won't find yet unless I upload them. But I'll show off what I normally do, and granted, it's very simple stuff. The thing you want to do is find a base image if you're... So, I'll set that up really quick. I'm trying to like get Firefox to capture, but I have not set up. No, I don't want browser capture. I need... Is it window capture? Firefox. Okay. Let's move that down, because that's way above everything. That's not where I want it to be. There. And we'll swap that off, so... Main thing I do is I always look up source images. I mean, this is basic stuff. Conrail auto racks. Because there's like 4 versions of this thing. Conrail photo archive. I think we're dealing with bi-levels, so I need to look for one with a... this ETTX bi-level... oh, they like doing tri-levels. That's weird. Let's look at a tri-level. Okay, so that's the logo we're going to be using. CTTX. That should be... I might just keep using ETT... Yeah, well, because ETTX tri-levels, but we'll make it a bi-level for the sake of reskinning. And you'll notice with this one, it's even easier, because I literally just have to make the logo black, but the rest of it's fine. This actually makes this incredibly easy. I just have to pull decals from one file and put them into the other. So what we'll do now is we'll go back, turn Firefox off. Was there anything even... well, it's just... no, it just shows that. Now for Paint.net, it doesn't really show my tools, so I'll explain which tools I'm using when I'm doing this, because that... you guys can't see it without me turning on like monitor capture, but that shows like everything that will ever happen on my PC, and I have my own personal life. Thank you very much. So ETTX should be... I gotta find the ETTX decal, which should be in... that's the Burlington Northern Auto Rack folder. That's not what I need. Hey.
Either of you have any experience with repaint by any chance?
If you're talking about Train Sim World, you've come to the right place. Absolutely. Is it rail? Are you talking about Railworks though, or?
No.
If it's TSW, oh, Train Sim World. Absolutely. I'm the one that's working on the tutorial for it. I've got a live stream up for it right now. Are you trying to figure? I tried to. Yeah, it should be the Twitch link in the chat in TSW General.
Okay.
Oh no, it's fine. It's a regular thing. I invited people can come in here and chat. I just chose this channel just because I got my other Discord server's got people in it. And
So I'm a beginner repainter. I've done some repaints. I've done the GMS repaint for the 42. Right now, I'm working on a Railian livery for the BR204. I don't know if you know it.
BR204. No, I do not, unfortunately. I've been debating on it. It's not worth $20 to me, so I'm waiting for it to go on sale. I've seen Nick Hawk's been working on it a bit, but yeah, the kids. I was the one that did the Amtrak MP15, and that took me a month. So, the thing with reskinning, the main tip, I mean, so because you've obviously gotten them compiled so far, right? Okay, yeah, because figuring out the compiling and cooking thing is the thing that most people trip up on. I'll be completely honest. Oh, absolutely. The first reskin I ever did, I spent an hour and a half unpacking and repacking the entire heavy haul pack, because that's what I thought you had to do to get one auto rack reskinned. So I feel your pain. It's... Every single time I was like, oh, I want to do it. So yeah, the thing with this is for the 204, there's, have you heard of this console enabler thing that's been going around? What it does is there's no dev console by default in Train Sim World, but there's a little program you can get for free that enables it. Yeah, in-game console. So what there is there's a version of that. What that does is it allows you to enter console commands. There's a set of console commands that adjust how you view lighting in the game, and there's one called view mode unlit, and when you type that in, what it will do is it will disable all the lighting, so when you're looking at your locomotive, as you try to map out the texture, it shows exactly what you see on the texture map in your paint program. No lighting affecting it or anything. It saved me considerable time with certain things, because you can actually see where the little shading is on textures when it's in full bright that you can't see otherwise. The thing with the 204, you've probably already figured out, is parts of it are mirrored. Some of the hoods are mirrored.
And it's horrible because I'm
It should be right there in TSW General. It's the, like, Asian girl. Oh, I just realized I am not using the proper headphones for Discord. It's come through my speakers. Use... there. Oh, I gotta swap now.
Or the livery I'm trying to make, I put it in your Twitch chat, is this one. But it's literally impossible to make because of the mirroring data.
I'll take a look at this. Oh, that would be a good livery. Yeah, unfortunately, the thing is, Dovetail. I know they keep saying that the editor's coming. You'll be able to make your own repaints.
Oh,
but
dude.
This whole thing of you can't remap a texture once it's view V wrapped around a model, unless we're able to do that. Everyone's screwed with repaints. It's kind of just.
You're cutting out a lot on Discord, by the way.
Oh, I know why. Let me.
It's push to talk, I guess.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better.
I had when I'm on my laptop without my headset, every once in a while if someone else talks loud enough, it wakes up my microphone through the laptop speaker, so I have to set like a threshold. When I have that on, though, it makes it sound like I'm talking through a ski lift.
Nice.
Okay. So...
this whole time, I'm sorry I've been quiet. I'm trying to get a second monitor to watch the stream on. Because what I'm doing, I'm not on my computer today.
I see.
Yuri might like this.
Oh god, what are you doing this
on my iPad with push to talk and everything, right?
I'm trying to get a picture so I can explain my problem with
Guess what I'm using to watch the stream on?
What?
iPad.
My Wii U gamepad.
Are you serious?
The you're gonna get out of it.
I'll take a picture if you want.
I mean, I used to watch at one point when I had to give up my laptop for like some sort of investigation. There's some police thing with some online gaming thing I had to like give them to see like if I could help them out with it at all. And there's a point in time where I only had my Wii for internet, so I would watch YouTube through the internet app on the Wii to browse the web for like a year.
Oh, you're Yuri? Oh.
Yep. I'm the one.
Explains a lot.
Yeah. So you have heard of me.
Yeah, I have heard of you.
Yeah, I've been. I've been.
Yeah, you're a busy bee. I know.
Oh yeah. It's slowed down a lot now. I'm debating on the M3 looks really. I want to get the M3, but I'm so worried that I'm going to go to reskin it and make the stripes blue from yellow. And it's just going to be like, oh no, the yellow stripe, if you paint that blue, will cover the entire locomotive a different color. Because of Dovetail's...
Good opportunity, they will.
Yeah, Dovetail's ingenious mapping. Alright, so now we got to find a legitimate...
I put a link to the picture. So that's one of the repaints I did for the 204.
Oh, that was yours?
Mm-hmm.
Is that out now?
It's not out because.
I see. It's not done yet. That's one of the schemes I've always liked because that was my favorite 294 scheme. I love that you've made that. That would be like one of the schemes.
Myself, so
that
I'm trying to sneak in all the Dutch liveries.
I mean, I'll say this: well, I like Dutch stuff. I mean, some of this later, I like a lot. Most of the stuff I love from the Dutch is now dead. The Wadloper, the Plan T, the Plan V. Is the Regio Runner dead for you guys too?
It's been dead for 15 years.
What? No. Everything good.
That Regio Runner. You mean that Regio Runner? Oh, no, okay. No.
The double-decker one, yeah.
Yeah, there's two ones. So we used to have another one, but they phased that out. But
there's only one.
So the Regio Runner, we call it the VIRM.
Oh.
It stands for Verlengd Interregionaal Materiaal. It means stretched interregional stock. So yeah.
Dutch is a lot easier to talk about and pronounce, I think, sometimes than German.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, in German that will be a 64-character word.
Yeah, double clutch gearbox is like 32 characters long.
Yeah. I know it's
the double couple. I can't even pronounce
it. Abbreviations for German rolling stock like cap cars.
Somebody just smashed their head on the keyboard.
Double Stockwagen.
Yeah. But you see on that picture on the NS livery, you see on the front face, you still have the reflective bars and the DB logo, even though I completely removed it from the decal.
There's a chance. This sounds crazy, but I think this happened with certain units. Is you've checked? I assume you've checked all the texture files for the 204.
Yeah, every single one. Yeah.
There's a crazy chance, because if it's not on the body, that.
It's on the decal. I found the texture. I removed even the background of the decal, so there shouldn't be any interfering. But I thought maybe the alpha mask is still.
I think I know. Hold on. I think I know what happened. Why it's still showing up white. This is an issue with the way Unreal reads things. Any other train sim, you wouldn't have this problem. Believe me, it's exclusively UA4. When you go to, I take it you went on the decal and selected it with Magic Wand and hit delete.
I did that I've done three different things. So that's the first thing I did. The second thing I did is there's this gray background that comes around the decals. I tried painting over it with that. The third thing I tried was removing it entirely. That part of the.
SW1000 on sand patches a crime. Mr. Carson, I'm aware it was a lot of fun. So the thing is, here's the way I found it. You have to do it, and believe me, this sounds just as insane as you would believe.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is you look for another spot on the texture when you're like in a paint program that's literally transparent. There's nothing like around it, and you take a small square with the select tool, and you hit copy.
Yeah.
Of that, what you've done now is that gray texturing you see when you cook it in UE4, you've copied that.
Shouldn't have worked. I know. Yeah.
When you do that, then you go over to the spot you're trying to get rid of, and you hit paste, and you drag it until it covers the decal that you're trying to delete. What you've done now is you replace that decal with that gray mush that Unreal 4 shows. That is, as far as I know, the only way. Because I even tried putting a fresh layer of transparency on top of a decal once.
Yeah,
that doesn't
that's what
work.
I tried too.
Yeah, no, the method I'm showing, I'll even show it off in this in a second. Let me actually.
The problem is though, there's no part that's transparent on the default decal.
What you can do then is, and I know this sounds stupid, but it's another way to work around, is find another decal from some other German engine or any other piece of equipment you have in game that has free space on the decal. Like you'll see it on this thing on the stream, how there's all this free space. Select a little, like I'll show right now just for an example.
I'm a bit worried though that nothing German does that, because I've never seen transparent background on decals.
You can always fall back to Heavy Haul. That has plenty of blank space.
Oh yeah, good call, yeah.
But then you can do that, and if you have, I take you edit with like Paint.net or something?
Photoshop.
All right. Well, I mean, you can. I think Photoshop lets you have multiple projects open next to one another, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you do the copy paste thing that way. So I'll just show on the stream real quick, and if you don't see it now, you can always go back and watch. So like, I'll select a blank area like right here.
Yeah, I have multiple screens. I see it.
Yeah. So if I hit Control C right now, I've copied this. Now,
yeah, you got a bit of the circle, by the way.
Yeah, you got part of the lip.
Part of the. Oh yeah, that. Let's see. Let's grab a smaller one. So I always start small, and then I just expand it, because it doesn't care if you stretch it or not. That's the great part about this trick, is you can make you could select a 1x1 square and stretch it to 4K rectangle, and it still works. So I copy this. Now I hit paste. So if I drag this, and granted this is on a different layer, so I'll put it in a different spot for poor example. I drag it here.
Yeah.
When I do this. If I were to load this up in Unreal 4 now, that would just be gray or yellow depending on some of the textures. Some show gray, some show yellow in the transparent spots, but that's actually gone now. It's that simple. And when I make this tutorial for the community, because this is basically like a dry run of me showing how how to show it for people.
Yeah, very good that you're doing that, by the way, because the existing one uses some registries that don't really exist anymore since we have DLC.
John Roman, or I think it's Sizon.
Yeah, that guy, the Spanish guy.
Yeah, his technique was a good way to get started before anyone knew U-model or anything. I used it. But the thing is, it requires you to do a lot of things. It basically, if you follow his tutorial to a T and you're using all his tools, you're spending an extra hour and a half you don't need. In reality, you can export the files, do it yourself, and have all of it done within like 10 minutes if you really wanted to. The only thing that's super time consuming for me most of the time with Train Sim World that no one else has a problem with is getting the game to load. The rest of Quick BMS at the start, like Quick BMS does work, and I'll say, you can alpha out, you can now, J-Class, you can alpha out decals. I mean, the thing is, if you open it in Photoshop, you can view the alpha channel and choose what to show and what shouldn't show.
I don't know what he means with that. I don't know how to.
I'm not sure. I'd have to acquire.
It doesn't work in layers. There's just the one layer.
Yeah, the thing with Quick BMS is Quick BMS works, and you can do that. But the point is, UModel lets you do it in like 3 steps. With Quick BMS, you got to find a batch file, run it, locate the crap, export all the crap you need, and wait all this time. With UModel, you run it as admin, you point it to the DLC or the packs folder, you hit the extract on a button, boom, in the folders, there's your TGAs or your OGGs if it's sound files. And there you go. Then you can just start modding, and then you just recook them with Unreal 4. The thing,
you know how to modify the OGGs too?
Here's the thing with that. I'll explain that while I'm working on this. So
sure.
Technically, the OGGs are actually pointless. Basically, they're actually WAV files, but the way in which they're cooked, the only file format that seems that UModel's able, as far as I know, is able to export them by easily, is to uncook them into OGGs. Because OGG is like a free format. Everyone has. You don't need to pay a $30,000 license to use it or whatever. So you can include it with UModel. That's how they do it. Because like if they did MP3, they have to include the whole LAME library. Or if they did it with WAV, they have to include all of Windows 10 or something to have it work. So what you do is those OGGs are really just there so you can hear the sound and get a reference of what you're working with. The only thing that you need to do if you're replacing sounds is you just have to have the file names from UModel. What I do, because I'm neurotic, is I export the OGGs and I'll copy that, I'll copy the file name from the OGG and paste it on the WAV file. I'll say this, it is very particular about what kind of WAV file it wants for Unreal 4. What I normally do is I go into something like Audacity or Converter Lite, which I use. And both are free. But I save them as a 16-bit PCM WAV file. That's what Unreal 4 likes to see. That doesn't necessarily stop that whole weird sound crackling thing that TSW is known for, where it sounds like, your speakers are going all the time. Which I hear all the time. Certain sounds you just are the way in which they were built, the whole, not the data files that make them sound the way they do. Those are what's causing that sometimes. Like the Amtrak, the Northeast Corridor electric engine, the horn for that, I've tried compiling that for different locomotives, and every single time it crackles like I'm on the International Space Station radio or something. It sounds horrible. With certain sounds, you're just kind of, Dimitri, is that... people? I guess you could take it as a compliment, man. People are thinking you're Dimitri.
Do I really sound like Dimitri?
Apparently.
The fuck? Oh, this opens some opportunities.
Yeah. Hey guys, Dimitri here. Do you want a free Steam key for the Long Island Railroad M3?
The last 4 digits of your credit card.
Yeah.
All I can think of is Dimitri's dead face on the CN Oakville street.
Everyone was dead on the
internet. He just had a dead-eye stare at the game the whole time.
Because they realized the crap they were pushing out.
He realized, oh my god, I'm representing this terrible product.
Do we even talk about that now or no?
What? Oakville?
The Oakville sub.
Oh.
The thing with, I mean, believe me, I have some choice words for whoever on the team thought, you know what? We don't really need to fix the track. We can just lie using the map.
You know what? I'll act like Dimitri in this conversation. You ask me questions about the DLC.
So how much
can we expect a timetable revamp, Dimitri?
How much trackage is actually runnable without the game giving you the game over?
Yes.
You hear me, guys?
Yeah. What's the sample rate for
We can hear
OGG
you.
files? I'm not sure, McT. I think it's 2205 I'd try any of them. I think I do whatever the default is for Audacity, which I think is like the 40,000. I don't know. Do you enjoy working with Matt? That's a loaded question. I can't ask that. How was your time with Mr. Pedals?
They left this group, didn't they?
Well, Dimitri didn't, but Matt did. I mean, I didn't, but Matt did.
Yeah.
And I think he was getting. Well, I can speak good shit. He was getting fed up with all the negativity in this server.
I caught a glimpse of what had actually happened, like real talk.
Was there like
some troll had come in apparently and basically told him he was like an abysmal developer and said all this stuff. And granted, some of us might think like, well, Dovetail's really kind of abysmal at what they're doing sometimes, but no one says that because it's not the right thing to say. You got you got to be polite about even if you're angry about it. And I've learned that over time. Granted, sometimes I'm pretty blunt. Someone went in and basically shat over everything Pedelson had ever said, and basically said he was an abysmal developer, and then the person was promptly banned and the post deleted. But apparently that was enough for Matt to kind of just go, yeah, no. And he just left without, like, he was like, well, maybe, I'm on vacation or something. And then just kind of left. But, like, I don't...
Didn't you realize how that looks for the rest of the server?
Yeah, there were some people, that's why, I'll say this, that's why you see the temporary moderators thing right now, is because of that.
Yeah, so about them. No, I'm not going to talk about them, but because I don't want to curse the whole time. Had some nice experience with them, but let's just say, you know what perestroika is?
Which guy?
No, it's Russian for freedom of speech and of press.
Oh yeah,
it's got to be limited by them.
Yeah, I know that their one thing is I know they're really trying to keep the peace. I mean, it's one of those things where if I still had my regulars role, I might have been well, no, I wouldn't have been drafted because I'm critical of DTG. Never mind.
No, just anytime you say something that one of them doesn't agree with or which kind of sounds negative to DTG, they send you a DM with please remove it, and if you don't respond, they will remove it.
Oh, I haven't heard this yet. That's.
Oh yeah, I've spoken to multiple individuals.
Oh no.
And they've all had this happen. They're deleting entire conversations, which is why it sounds more quiet the last week than before, if you noticed.
Oh.
Yeah, so the train and was heading to the. It was like they're doing the switch going on.
Which train?
Yeah, especially with the release of the German shunter, the 204.
Yeah, and I understand why. And I'll say this: I totally get why people are like criticizing it. Like, I mean, the thing is, I was excited for it because I took one look at the cab and I went, "It's not the 204, which looks pretty. I don't like the outside. I didn't like the outside, but the inside looked great." And I was like, "Well, this is what I want to get." But then once I started looking at Muff's timetable mod that he just released, and I started testing with the class await, I started thinking, "This is it." Like this feels like it felt like a timetable that I would have made when I was a kid for MSTS.
Yeah, very simplistic.
So what are you guys talking about?
The German switcher that came out for Train Sim World about a. It's only been out
for American switchers, by the way.
It's only been out for 5 days, and people.
Wait, really?
It came out the 21st.
Holy shit!
That doesn't
when you're having fun.
That doesn't bode well for the longevity of that DLC.
So you want to hear a very nice controversy? You want to have a very nice conversation piece?
Oh sure.
So this is so controversial to Dovetail Games that they deleted the entire conversation I had about this in the server.
What?
So somebody from Dovetail said, and I think they kind of spoke out more than they were allowed to say, or whatever you would say, how you would say that in English.
Right.
But
they bit off more than they could chew, so to speak.
Yeah. Sorry. My English is fine, but the expressions.
Oh no, believe me, I'm English, and we have English expressions that we hate. Just in general, it's.
Yeah. So, what I heard from a Dovetail Game employee is that this 204 has not been built up from the ground by Rivet, but is actually a model port from the RealWorks version. And that it has been implemented and adapted by Rivet.
Mm.
And I thought, if that is indeed the case, that is a very, well, how do I say that, dishonest of them to say that it was developed by Rivet, and that Rivet posts on their own YouTube saying that they're quote-unquote building the 204 for TSW.
Right.
And that they haven't once
like the word
mentioned
adapting would be what they would be saying, basically.
Yeah. Because my theory why they would have done this is to make it sound like there's actual third parties working on TSW to promote that, you know, they're engaging with other content creators.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, that... I'm surprised I haven't heard of this country. Oh, because you said it got deleted.
Yeah, they deleted. They asked me to delete it, and I said, "Why do you want me to delete it?" And before they responded, they just deleted it.
That's.
I believe they're still a part of it.
I've never been on a train before, guys. Like, I was going to the passenger train, and then I want to go to the Texas Eagle. You heard guys about the Texas Eagle?
Well, I'm familiar with the Texas Eagle a bit. I've never been down there. I've been to like L.A. and stuff, but never. I know. I'm
Sunset Limited.
The one I've been. I think I've been on very few Amtrak trains, mostly Northeast stuff. But almost, if I had had the money and time, would have gone on.
I like the South better because the South trains they got the Vicksburg subdivision by KCS.
I would love to get some Miami Real.
Okay, I think I have fixed.
So I have a little question in between, guys.
Yeah, what's up?
So the decal texture that I was talking about, I just exported it as a Targa file, and then I opened it again, and the part that I left, as background checkered, is now replaced by a Photoshop signature white background. So would exporting it to PNG and then converting it to Targa prevent that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I normally export to Targa, but because I'm using Paint.net.
I heard about train sim mining is on the Discord server because I want to request a route for the mod route.
Where?
Oh,
like a modded route. Yeah, like the Technicality Pass.
I'm trying to find it.
You remember the trains 2012? The train simulator 12.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a good game I played on my PC and my laptop, and then it has the Technicality Pass, the Technicality loop I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It was back in the 90s stuff.
But you don't have that on Steam then, or?
I got that on Steam, but I uninstalled it. Because
it should have updated every year to the newest
version.
The
DLC should technically always update itself, but I think sometimes it's
You guys heard about True Rail simulations?
Oh yeah, True Rail. I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, and Searchlight simulations. They got.
Oh yeah, I know those.
America.
Searchlight did the 4400, right?
I'm talking about
the thing that looks alright but runs like
American
old shoe.
Mods.
Doesn't matter if you pay
I was trying to use specific EMD SD40N locomotives for Searchlight simulations. That was pretty good too.
The problem with it is you have to have really expensive. It's
expensive. What?
The thing with the 4400 is that because of the way it's doing scripts, and I know Searchlight says that they've optimized the scripts 100%, and I know, granted, if the guys at Searchlight ever watch this stream, which I don't think they will, but I understand that they said that they've made the scripts as optimized as possible for the 4400, but You don't just buy a DLC that runs at 15 FPS and go, all right, yep, this is it. This is how I'm going to drive a real American train.
This is what they want.
Yeah, like, I get
Well, it
that
does make the route feel longer.
they were like, well, you have to have
I want to see the. I want to see the Canadian National locomotive. What's the ES44DC in AC?
I mean, the thing is, they charged. I understand they put a lot of work in it. I know they put like 4 years worth of work in it. But when you're charging $35 for a single locomotive, granted, I know the rolling stock's free, but $35 for a single engine. The point of the fact, and for the scenarios, I understand. But the fact of the matter is, that's a lot of money for one engine. When you look at the less professional part of the community, $35 normally gets you.
I didn't the Canadian National locomotives.
Canadian National is. There's so little of it these days. I don't even think Dovetail's
How about
done.
the GEs like Canadian National? Because seeing and the General Electric's locomotives, right?
Oh, the GEs are fine. It's just the thing is trying to get a lot of getting content of a very high quality that isn't stuff DTG's recycled like 100 times is the frustrating stuff. Like, we have GEs from Dovetail, but every single time we get a new livery, it's the same model from 2007.
So, Yuri.
Yeah.
You like your Dutch trains, right? Watch my stream real quick.
Okay, let me see if I can actually do this while I'm...
You should be able to.
Oh, what the... Is it the 422?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't look bad.
That's actually...
because I was learning about the Canadian National locomotives. Like, yeah, I'm from the state of Louisiana because the Louisiana do have some of the train tracks out there. Well, it has like the Canadian National train tracks. You remember the Train Sim USA is a YouTuber from Louisiana.
Oh, Train Sim USA. Yeah, I know his actual name, too. But yeah, I know exactly who you mean. Yeah, he does good videos.
What is his real name, by the way?
I don't think you want it out there, but I know him because I know of his channel through channels on Facebook.
I don't think his name is Kevin, so...
No, it's definitely not that. I can tell you that, but I can't give it out because I've never actually I've met the guy in passing. He did play. I've seen him around. Where was the place that I saw him around? That was a group I was in with them. It was a Run 8 group.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I don't want to Run 8 because I like the Railworks better. Because
Run 8 is I've been a diehard Run 8 fan, but even I'm
realistic.
Well, the thing is, Run 8 has pretty decent physics. I know they're not the most realistic, but definitely, it's one of those things where I'm just thinking, well, it could be worse. Like, you could have heavy hulls.
The bells, and they didn't remaster the bell sounds too.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Most people in the Run 8 know me for this, but they don't know me on this community in the train sim community for it. Is that you can mod Run 8? You can mod sounds. I've seen people making some
on Run 8.
Mm-hmm. There's a tool if you've ever heard, there's a tool by these people that I work with I started something called Valhalla Tower. There's a whole tool Microsoft makes that allows you to create the sounds for Run 8 Train Simulator.
You heard about Focus Home Interactive?
I'm sorry, what?
Focus Home Interactive. This is a gaming studio.
Oh, yeah, Focus. Yeah, they're an old group.
Yeah, because they need like a train simulation game. Do you remember the Snow Runners?
What's it called?
That game was Snow Runner. It's a game coming out.
Oh, Snow Runner, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to buy one. I'm about to pre-order that game, or it's buyable.
Is it out for pre-order yet? Because I'd be interested, but let's see.
I was getting on my Xbox One, and I want to try and buy one of those, the Snow Runner. It's like a realistic game. It has the freight liner trucks and the GMC and everything.
It has me interested, definitely.
Radio check.
Radio check.
But they need a train sim game for Focus because Focus has a lot of developers in there. How about Railroad America? It's the name of that train sim game in the U.S.
Focus has problems all of their own at the moment.
They got enough room for that?
Well, I mean, they even suspended releasing the new Farm Sim by 2 years, so...
Oh.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they're not gonna release a 21 version.
Oh no!
How'd that happen?
They said they wanted to continue working on the
You mean
19.
Giant Software?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Giants, I think, definitely need some time where they stop and physically reevaluate themselves. Because I don't mean to be a jerk, but there's focus needs. Giants needs to focus. Every single time I looked at a DLC for the latest farming sim, people were like, "Well, there's bugs they still haven't fixed from like a while ago," and I was thinking, well, that's usually not a good sign when there's bugs.
I'm gonna talk to your son.
PSN.
So they need like a American Railroad simulator game for the, and it starts like in the 1920s to the 2020.
Well, sir, Woogieman, if they just release the editor, soon we won't need a simulator for anything.
Oh.
But
we know where that we know where that's going.
Yeah. Well, we know where it isn't going. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dove. I have some possibly choice speeches for.
I tell you what. There's a reason they had the American Railroads games. Well, I think they had some kind of Australian railroad games or something.
Hmm.
You remember you went to the Australia?
I don't know.
They got the railroad tracks in the Australian outback, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the one that's really crooked.
They release on the trains on your iPhone and the iPad and all that stuff, right? Unfortunately, it was unsupported.
Oh, trains on mobile has. I would support it, but it requires me to have an Apple device, and I that's
gonna be a negative for me.
That's just not cash money for me. I'm an Android person.
Yeah, same.
I
getting more for the book, you know.
Exactly. Like they had a sale the other day that was like felt like a kick in the teeth to me. That was like we're putting the mobile versions like Trains 2 and Trains Driver on sale. And they're like, and then it says in parentheses underneath, not available on Android and on Android. Sorry, and I just thought, well, what the hell's the point of you making it free then?
Yeah, I remember getting the game like 5 or 6 years ago. It was a pretty big mess.
They need a route for the Texas Eagle, and it's coming in Texas.
What, for Trains E or Trains or
Railworks?
What?
Oh, okay.
They need a Texas Eagle on Railworks because that sounds like a great idea to make one by the developers.
I think the thing is they would definitely need to really group on that, and I'm not sure. Oh, well, I did not mean to make.
They need one of those because I was trying to request it, and then some editors for the modern some kind of train locomotives and rank paints of the Texas Eagle trains or the Amtrak stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, that's why that wasn't working, because I did it wrong.
Let me check out the Google Maps, because Google Maps for trains that they have on there.
What that's third rails? Oh, you mean third rails?
Third rails. What is that?
Third rails is
the third rail is electrified. It's like the catenary, but on the side.
Oh, I meant the map tracking program for Railworks.
Oh, am I being stupid? Sorry.
There's this thing called third rails. What it lets you do basically is I'm so excited! I almost get to try this auto rack soon if I don't have a stroke.
They need like extended rail racks, freight cars.
Okay, that is. I feel like I shouldn't have
No,
made
that's
that text black.
BNSF Railway. We don't do BNSF Railway because I get license issues.
Hey, Casey, can you do me a big favor? I'm trying to look up something.
What's
I
up?
can't find images. I'm trying to
Maybe
see the little... There should be like a two-letter reporting mark on Conrail Autorex that says CR. And I'm trying to figure out if I'm screwing it up, if it's supposed to be white or black. I feel like it's supposed to be black, but I can't... I have no physical confirmation at this point.
The reporting mark, as in the one on the side of the door that opens.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas is the largest
Well,
city
on
in the world.
the actual
in
body
Texas
side, but
area.
on one side of it, it's hard to see. Like you'll see, if you look up like
I'll take a look.
if you look up like a Grand Trunk Grand Drunk Western thing, Run 8 is dying. I mean, that's another discussion for another day at this point. Let me tell you. All right, let's see.
Let's see.
Where is this image I need to find? Where is it? The TSC bot is like
some kind of town called. Let's see. Trying to find a town that was near Dallas, Texas, and
I don't even know if Dovetail's done a Texas route. Have they?
no, I don't think so.
I was gonna
Would this
say.
be any
One
help?
because Dallas is gonna be in the next one for the Delta games, so they had trains out there. It's gonna be the next U.S. route. I'm trying to find the Texas town called near Dallas, and then Irving, Texas. Irving, Texas is a town that has the BNSF Railway, and let's see. And TRE, you heard TRE, and what's that stands for?
Trinity Rail Express.
Trinity Rail Express. That's in Texas, right?
Yes, TRE is Texas.
All right. It's part of what the BNSF Railway, right?
That I don't know. I have a friend that could probably tell you more about that, but for me, God, I'm clueless on that.
Wow, look, it's realistic right there. It's like in railroad.
All right.
It's like a passenger train crew, right?
Okay, that is probably getting a strange feeling. I'm going to regret making that white.
Trinity Railway, huh? Let's see. How about Herzog? Like the Herzog is one.
Herzog is a maintenance company, as far as I can
They don't have
adequately
license issues on
remember
Herzog,
with
right?
my limited memory capacity.
But they don't have the licensing issue for the Herzog, right?
That's a grand question. Unfortunately, I don't have a grand answer for you.
Because BNSF and KCS do have licensing issues because there's just a major licensing issues, right? Okay, there's the BNSF trains that get. I see train tracks on the Google Maps or Street View. I don't know. It's got to be the Dallas subdivision. You heard of Dallas subdivision?
I live in the Northeast, so some of it's pretty foggy to me. I only hear stuff if I hear it through my friend.
Oh.
I mean, I'd go down to
it's pretty-
Texas, but I haven't had a reason. I don't have anyone that lives down there, so I haven't had a reason to go down, nor have I had the money to do so. Oh, that's an auto rack. I could actually.
Well, I'd like to go to Texas because Texas is a bigger state on the road.
Actually, crazy enough, I took a look at that. That's actually not true. I found an image the other day that shows that that's not. Actually, the biggest state in the United States is actually Alaska. It fits like half of the. It fits. It's like fits halfway into the United States.
I don't think Alaska's the biggest state.
No, Alaska's huge.
Oh, Alaska's like. Let me look at this.
Alaska's
Oh, look,
huge.
you got a train coming. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There it is.
Alaska bigger than Texas. This is gonna be my search history.
In
now.
compared to
That's why I was born there.
Alaska is bigger than Texas, 3.1 times wider and 1.
There's a Trinity Rail train coming
1.9 times type.
on the
Let's
Google
put this. All right. For the sake of people's insanity, here you go. This will go into the Twitch chat.
It's because of the way the Earth is stretched out when you go
Yeah.
from a ball to a flat shape. Everything near the equator is about 1-on-1, and everything on either extremes to the north and the south is extremely stretched.
And they always draw it stupidly in U.S. history books. As an American citizen, I can say that I don't know who drew the history books, but I don't want to meet them because they always show a key and it shows.
Referencing a globe over here.
They always show. Well, they always show like here's a key with Hawaii and Alaska off to the corner, but it shows them as like a tenth of like the size of the United States.
Hawaii
so you're like, oh, Alaska's the size of
maps too.
People are like, oh, Alaska's only the size of like Pennsylvania. Wrong. It's 470,000 miles.
I have not seen a
whichever German route was your first
scale.
So was Rusik Nord or Rapid Transit here first?
Rapid Transit came out in November 2017, then Rusik Nord, August 2018, Main Spessartbahn, Ryan Ruhr Austin, and then what's that new one? The Hoppestruck I can't remember what it's called. Hopstruck. Yeah, that exactly. The Bochum to.
So from whenever Rapid Transit came out, I've been saying to Dovetail Games like, please add a local unit function, so I don't have to switch between miles per hour and kmh every time.
I've seen people asking about that for a while, and you would think that they would have.
Yeah, because it's so easy to program.
And Microsoft Train Simulator did it, and that was...
Yeah, exactly. There's not even an option to manually change it.
Let me count how many years back that was. Oh, it was only 19 years ago, Dovetail.
Yeah, like revolutionary.
Imagine that!
Like, literally, all you have to do is add a line of code that specifies what the local metric or imperial system is.
And it doesn't affect the HUD that much anyways. The HUD files are already there, so they're not re-scripting anything. They're just, it's just code. Like, okay, what? 8 more kilobytes in new asset files. Oh, wow.
Okay, I gotta tell you something. I got a question. How you take a picture with the Street View with Google Maps?
Print screen will be your best bet. Print screen will be your best bet.
But I had to share an enabled image or something.
If you print screen and do Alt print screen and you do Control V.
I think I found some.
Okay.
Oh,
is this
that's
embedded on map, right?
No, you don't want to embed it.
Why not?
That's not what you want to do, right?
Embed is like if you want to put it on a website.
Yeah, it's to capture that part and make it a link to be read by HTML.
It's like a photo, right?
J-Class.
No, it's HTML, I believe.
J-Class, have you done any more Run 8 stuff? I mean, I had a music video idea I was throwing around the other day that I was doing solo, but I haven't worked on it because every single time I consider filming, it takes.
But you show me a link. I'll put the private message on them. Dude, you guys show me the link of it. How you take photos in the Google Maps Street View.
What you do is do the left Alt print screen button and then just paste it in the Discord.
How'd you do it?
Left Alt print screen to take a screenshot.
I can't see the screenshot button.
It should be.
It should be called P. It'll be spelled as PRTSC. It should be near the pause break key. Are you on a laptop?
Are you on a laptop or a PC? Because it might be.
Show me the image you have.
Here, let me. I'll do you a solid. Let me get my phone real quick and.
Yeah. So Woggy, are you on a laptop?
I'm on a PC, the gaming PC.
Okay, so you have your F keys, right? 1 to 12.
Uh-huh.
To the right of F12 should be that key.
I see. Well, I'd use the left alt and the F12.
No, it is not F12, but next to the F12 key there should be a print screen.
Yeah, it'll be Alt. Should literally just say Alt. It should be like the bottom left of your keyboard.
Next to your spacebar.
Print screen should be. I mean, the problem is it changes on every single laptop ever made.
Yeah, it's either spelled out or PRTSC or something.
Yeah, it should be PRTSC. Mine's got like an additional function below it, but yeah, that's what it should be. It's going to be somewhere in the.
It's try to take a picture of the Texas Eagle.
You could
it's gonna be
always. Do you have Windows?
yeah, this is a Windows 10.
There's another thing you can do. Do you look in your start menu? Type in search for.
And I don't know what the heck I want to
No,
do.
there's an easier way. What
No,
you could
no.
do.
Snipping
what you
tool.
could do,
The right. Right.
yeah, you
Thanks,
could do that, but
on the
there's an
right.
even easier way. Just right mouse button and do copy photo link. Or I don't know
No,
what
how
it's
you take a
exactly.
picture? I said.
That's what he said.
Oh,
I'm not.
it is on the
Oh,
picture.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that works though, because it's a fully moving web image. I don't know if it'll
Yeah,
let
it's
it do a
not
copy.
yeah.
Screen snippet.
But
Yeah, I
that
want
should
to take a
work.
picture of some kind of a BN7 Union Pacific train tracks across there.
Can you
Oh.
open up your start menu?
Shaggy Knolls, Texas.
Can you open up your start menu? I'll show you how to capture this.
Okay.
Okay, open up your start menu, and is there like a little search
did.
bar in there?
I'm off to the toilet for.
Search me. Wait, how'd you do it?
Well, I don't even know which copy of Windows you're on. Do you see like a little bar at the bottom of the start menu that says like type here to
I'll
search?
see it.
Type in snipping tool. SNIPPING.
Snippy tool.
Snipping tool.
How you spell that again?
SNIPPING.
And tool, right? Okay, I found it.
All right, yeah, and you see how that has like a button that says new on it?
Mm-hmm.
Click that, and then your screen's going to darken, and it's going to let you hold your left mouse button. You can draw to select where you want to select.
Hang on. I gotta move this map.
Yeah, you'll want to move it, and then you'll run snipping. Then you can do that.
Yeah, it's called Saginaw, Texas. This name was a small town.
Saginaw or Shaginaw?
Yeah, Saginaw.
Oh,
Saginaw.
Shaginaw. I haven't heard of that. McTee, have I done any more Run 8 stuff lately?
That's near Fort
No.
Worth.
That's
near
should.
Fort Worth, Texas.
So I take Fort Worth. So do you? Where exactly do you live for Texas then? Near Fort Worth and Western Railroad?
I'm not from Fort Worth. I'm in Louisiana.
Oh. So you probably bought that Louisiana route that came out like a month or two ago.
Yeah, the Monroe Division, Monroe Subdivision.
Livonia. Yeah, that thing. How is that? Because I've heard good and bad.
I never played on this route. No. I'm about to buy one. Yeah, that's good for me. Okay, I'm in Saginaw, Texas. It's like a downtown area. Okay, I'm putting it on new. And what next?
See how it gives you like a gray box to draw with?
Uh-huh.
Just hold your left mouse button and drag the box around where you want to select. And see how it follows you?
Yeah, I see it.
And when you let go of that, it's gonna show up in snipping tool.
Uh-huh.
And then you see let me just do one.
I did.
You see where it then says edit?
No, damn it. I need to go to paint. There we go. Okay, what's that?
You see where it says edit on snipping tool?
Yeah.
Click on that and click copy.
Okay.
And then go to the channel, go to the off-topic channel on this Discord that you see.
No, how about Train Talk?
Oh, Train Talk. Then click in Train Talk. See the text, the like message bar at the bottom of Discord? You see the spot where you can...
I know how to do this.
Yeah, then you just paste it in.
No, 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 no. I need to cancel that. I think I found something. It's gonna be they're building a rail yard in Kearney, Texas, or Henry, Texas. That's the name of this large town. It's a railroad town. I'll search it. Let's see.
Okay, so you still here?
Yep.
Okay,
All
I
right.
found Kearney, Texas, and
From
this is
what
a large town. This is a large railroad town, and near Waco.
from what you can tell, the boxes, most of the text on the Autorex is white in Conrail, right?
1 sec.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, the text is white.
Okay.
See Valley Junction.
I sent you a few pictures, by the way.
All right, let me just double check this. I don't know about these upper numbers. I don't know what those are for. I think they're road numbers, but I might be insane.
Wait, upper ones? What?
The ones on this texture map. I think that
those are just the regular numbers that are the randomized, and they pick the car.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember. There's always a separate set of numbers, so having them on the same texture map is like messing with me.
Yeah, usually they're on a separate numbers file.
Okay, so I think I have just Conrailified. I don't think I ever want to use those words again.
The reporting marks, just to say, the actual Conrail 4-letter reporting, that's TTGX on all the ones I can find.
Really? I found some ETTX ones.
I'm just saying everything I'm finding is TTGX, both brown and yellow.
Really?
What about on the very end? That should say ETTX, or maybe that's just TTGX too.
No, they all say TTGX.
Oh, do they?
Hey, Mario.
There's
an open arrow one that's legit Conrail, but I sent you two of them. They're all the same.
Well, then this looks like a job for going to another texture folder and taking another texture for the CSX Autorack and using those assets. Wait, where are they?
Mario, how you spell construction? Because I can't spell it right.
Construction?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, we got a CTTX.
CON. What? Wait,
CONTRU.
TRU.
CTION.
Oh, ION.
Yeah, and if you spell it wrong, Discord will give you a red line letting you correct it. But that, as far as I remember, that's the correct spelling. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't know how to spell it. I should, but
that one says CTTX.
I can't. What's that again? TRUC.
TRUCTION.
TION. Okay, I got it.
Great.
It says CONTRUCTION.
You're missing an S after the first N.
Oh.
Even Lionel puts them as TGGX. Wow.
Well, they might be trying to avoid multiple lawsuits.
What's that, LHB?
CONTRUCI.
So about that BR204, I heard it had very few services.
It has 7.
It has 7, and
6 of them happen at Aschaffenburg station and Aschaffenburg port, and then 1 happens on the Lore branch, which if you're a speed runner, you can do in 7 minutes.
LHB, you're kind of echoing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was because I didn't know I had the Twitch thing open.
Oh, okay. Don't worry. I used to echo on my. I had a friend once that used to everything in his TeamSpeak would echo twice.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
So the number of times that I heard him have "Take Me to Church" on repeat in TeamSpeak is the reason I don't listen to that song anymore.
This is coming off topic, but
Okay,
I just want to
I'll blow in the image.
One at a time, lads. Was that LHB?
You guys see this?
No,
Look
that
on
was-
Train Talk. Look on Train Talk.
Actually, what is it?
It just sounds like to me the timetables for that BR204 could have done better.
No,
Yeah, that's putting it
they
lightly.
really could have. I
Right,
mean,
Yuri.
unfortunately, there's hope. One sec. There is some sort of hope. I'm sure you've heard of Muff. I'm sure you've heard of this man by this point.
Great guy, great guy.
He is working with Nick Hawk is the only one that has this file, as far as I know right now, that is working
I
on
have
a
it
test to make the. Oh, you do?
Yeah,
he hasn't.
I
He's only
donated
given it out to
204
certain.
them, so.
Yeah, basically, the 204 is, for those who don't know, is there's a timetable mod where they're meaning to make the Hold on, I'm having a seizure right now, mentally. There we go. He's making the timetable so the 204 will sub in on mainline services on MSB, and I can only pray
I can tell you
Snow
more
Shovel.
about it. I can tell you all about it. I've tested it a lot.
Yeah, so what
Currently,
does it... Yeah, go ahead.
Currently, it runs on Rhein-Ruhr-Osten, the other German route, the one before this.
Yeah.
Even Rapid Transit, but it crashes your game, so you have to look at it. Mein Spessartbahn, Roosig Nord, and I think that's them. But there's a big but, because all the German routes at least have a 1.5 gradient somewhere. And the 204 is not that powerful in Train Zoom World, so you really need a double-header service, which is currently not really working.
No, and I saw he tried to get when he was making the Class 08, the whole double-heading service thing doesn't... Like, TSW will MU stuff whether you like it or not, but it doesn't... It doesn't... There's that whole stupid like MU pins thing, which is realistic, but it doesn't seem to work on the 204 from what I've heard.
No, it works really weird. You need to have it set up exactly the same more.
Oh my goodness. That's
Marui.
Yeah, what's up?
Check out on Train Talk.
Take a look in Train Talk. Train Talk, where we talk about buses. What the heck? Yeah, that's a... Huh, so is that a new yard they're building?
It's a Union Pacific Rail Yard they're building.
Oh, it reminds me of Seaview.
It's in Nicholas, Texas. Now it's near Herring, Texas. You know, Herring, Texas is like near Waco.
Does that truck have PTC, though?
Casey, I put TTGX on. Do you see this? Are you proud of me?
And
Sweet.
yeah, it's going to be a major rail yard, by the way.
Yeah, I also saw that from late last week about the M3. But it seemed although the model is nice. Sorry.
Hey, what was that?
I saw into Neelis. I don't know. I can't say his name.
The Dutch guy, yeah.
The M3. I mean, great. I understand. So, for those who don't,
you seen this the photo, Neelis?
Which one? Sorry.
They're building a major Union Pacific Rail Yard going on.
Oh, the lost. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because UP has done.
Area.
Because UP has done so well at maintaining workers in rail yards. Let's see, Proviso Hump dead
workers.
as far as I know. Most of UP's other small yards, almost dead. CSX closing down yards like there's no tomorrow because that's how tomorrow moves.
How about one's in Alexandria, Louisiana? It says the Alexandria Yard by Union Pacific.
I mean, maybe that's closed. I have no idea. I just know
it ain't closed. It's not closed. It's open.
Well, yet.
Well,
I'll say this. I'll give foreign countries this credit. You guys don't shut down rail yards all the time. America, we have it's almost an Olympic sport.
I don't want to talk about my beautiful New Haven, but Take a look at the origins of Cedar Hill Yard of New Haven,
Don't talk to me.
Connecticut over the
Cedar Hill
decades.
Yard is going to go one day. You understand that, right? It's going to disappear, and it's going to be filled with M8 carcasses.
The coal tower is going to be the only thing that remains. Because for some reason we can't knock it down.
Now that you've said that, you know what
last time
CSX is going to bring in.
The last thing it was ever touched was 3016 in the movie. It happened to Jane. Hell, it's actually recorded.
I'm sorry
in
we
the
cut
movie.
you off, though,
The last time
LHB.
it was ever used.
Okay.
What was you
But
were talking about the
no,
M3?
Yeah, I was saying that while it's a new addition, while it's nice, it's kind of a little bit bittersweet that there's going to be a probability that the M3 is just going to be a substitution,
Right.
instead of getting at least the rapid transit treatment.
That's what it seems like, and granted, I think what I've seen with it so far is someone asked Pedelson on a stream like yesterday, I think it was,
Yeah.
about it, and basically Pedelson basically said himself, my timetable is not ready yet. He said it's got like 600 something services, and he's at like 450 out of like 660 or something. I don't remember the exact numbers, but something like that.
Why is he working with individual ones though?
It just isn't in his part-time because it's not part of Dovetail's official game plan. So he works on it in his spare time.
Okay.
Oh, Mika!
Hello.
Are you here to
Hello there.
rock my world with more railworks, with more train shit posts?
Because I was kind of hoping at least would have gotten at least the rapid transit treatment, like what happened with the BR 182, where it added some more services.
Right, and I think personally, I think everyone would love that. I think the thing is, what we can only hope, and again, I have no idea because granted, we're like a month out from getting this thing, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, or at least
Because
2 weeks.
what happened was the reason it showed up. You know how some people have been saying it's been leaked.
Yeah.
What happened was, so Dovetail did a video 2 days ago that showed them from working at home, of all their employees working at home. One of the women that I think works, I don't know who she is. Very nice woman that was I think is like because it looked like she was recording from like the test the scenario in editor thing where you can drive a train inside the editor. That's what it looked like. It was an M3 sitting at a station with the headlights off, and it was in the background of her dual monitor setup. So basically, Dovetail panicked for some reason, and rather than just taking it in stride and just, keeping quiet like a smart company, they kind of were like, okay, we have to write up all this stuff and grab all these quick screenshots and make this really low quality. I mean, it seems like something I would do, and granted, I'm criticizing myself here. Like,
Wait, so what are we talking about?
You guys do realize that the articles are written like 2 weeks prior.
No, the article is written
proofread
2 weeks.
by a lot of people.
Right, but the way in which they launch, like the launch image that shows like the the thing what Ragno does, where he has like the TSW swoosh that they do on like all their logos.
Okay.
That, when I looked at that, I actually had to stop and look at it for like 3 minutes and go, there's something wrong with this, but I can't tell what it is. And I went, oh, the swoosh has been rushed for the logo. I know that they do this stuff all in advance, Mika, but the way in which they kind of just like within immediately, like the way the Facebook post was written was like, the M3 is coming, here's a link. There was like no base. Normally they give like a little description of the engine when they do Facebook posts.
Yeah,
and they didn't even do that. Like everything was kind of just like, hey, here's a thing, go. And like that's how the way they just kind of like they panic, like, oh, it's a security breach. Like they treat it like as if like they treat it as if it's like Under Siege 2, where the satellite launch codes were launched and it's a national security disaster. But it's like, oh no, someone saw an M3. Like, yes, you're gonna have young fans that are gonna be like, oh, there's a new engine. But most people that are young aren't necessarily. Young kids are perceptive, but I don't know if they're that perceptive to be like, hey, that's a Bombardier M3 from 1997 that's currently in a game editor. Like,
so said video, is it still out there or?
Yeah, it's on Dovetail's official Facebook page is where it should be because
Facebook.
It's like Dovetail Games at Home or something.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If you go on Steam, there's like a post about it that says coming soon, the Long Island Railroad M3, and and then it says, "Here's a link for more information about it. Here's 2 screenshots." That's all we put on here.
I mean, because if I remember correctly, before rapid transit used to be a dead route.
It very much
Yeah,
was.
pretty much.
I have played it I have completed a grand total of. I actually don't have any hands to show how many times I've completed a scenario on rapid transit.
Okay, my Yuri.
What's up?
Check this rail yard out. It's in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Oh, let's take a look. It almost reminds me of what has a small rail yard like? It reminds me of Charlottesville, Virginia's. What's the rail line? McTee's gonna hate me for this. The Buckingham Branch Yard that's like 3 tracks wide, but goes through
I
all
think they
of
deleted the
Charlottesville.
video because I can't find it.
Oh, maybe they took it down then, which would be strange.
Wouldn't surprise.
There was like a
But I-
thumbnail. I don't want to put it in because granted, I don't, no one's gonna be on.
You see this, Yuri?
Well, it's not any secret anymore.
I
that
do
the
see,
M3
yeah.
It's like
Alexander-
this is next to Interstate 49, I-49.
That's some good. That's a good thing to rail fan when you're driving through, but there's no real way to pull over to look at it. What are you?
No,
why are
we're
you in
not
the
pulling
breakdown
over,
lane,
just-
sir? I'm watching trains.
We just drove through the interstate and saw the Union Pacific Alexandria Rail Yard.
Casey, I think I've made it. I'm gonna go compile it.
Oh.
So
You
this
see
is
this railroad
something.
tracks right there? Mario, you see this railroad tracks right there? It's the KCS railroad tracks.
Oh, it's
On the
KCS.
right. On the right, it says, on the right.
I actually have. What is it? In my territory, there's one ex-KCS unit, but it's not KCS anymore.
But I
Old
will-
snooty.
But I
Oh,
will
snap.
say this.
Actually, it was, might be a short line railroad tracks.
So I'll just say this for anyone real quick, just for
Cameron Lumber.
because it's a modding tutorial. You know how everyone thinks you have to open up the Epic Games launcher to launch your projects?
Mhm.
You don't need to. Literally, all you have to do is you go to your Unreal Projects folder and you go in the folder for each project. Just double-click the U project file. It'll open it right up without having to unlock. Granted, the Epic Games launcher might still try to start, but you don't need it to mod. My first year of modding in Train Sim World, I just was opening it with the U project because the Epic Games launcher has this really fun feature where sometimes it takes my entire graduation ceremony in high school to load.
Sounds about right.
It's also
I kinda
corrupted
have-
most of my old projects.
I do have 2 things to say. One of them was, I remember, Mari, you sounded a little you sounded a little bit upset or dreading yesterday when I kind of made a post that knowing people, someone's gonna try to mod that M3 into an M1.
Someone, I was actually considering it, but I'm scared
What happened?
because I worked on the MP. I'm sure you've seen the Amtrak MP15 going
I
around.
only saw it on two of them. The Long Island route. I mean, not the long. I mean the Amtrak one and the Peninsula Corridor one.
Yeah, I tried rescanning the Peninsula Corridor one, and it took me an entire month because the mapping, like, some of you think that you've seen bad mapping in Dovetail. Lord help you if you ever try to do one of the Peninsula Corridor add-ons.
I mean, but what's the difference in in terms of scheme wise between M3 and an M1?
There isn't too much. I grant I'm not a long on road aficionado. If they were in here, they could tell you. I think it's the logo on the front and some minor details.
Which one are we talking about?
But Wog's asking someone's asking what's the difference between the M1 and the M3 paint scheme wise.
Yeah, I was actually wondering what the difference is at all.
That's the wrong server.
You need Matt for that.
And the other thing I was gonna say was that kind of do like Peninsula Corridor. It kind of seems like one of the most complete DLCs.
Yeah, it's also pretty lengthy, which I like.
What, Peninsula?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and normally when I've reviewed DLC for Dovetail, granted I don't get keys. I always buy them. I'm not associate like unlike some people that are in the community where they actually get a key from Dovetail and then they get allowed to review it. I just go out and buy them all the time, which is why I haven't done the 20. There's no review on the 204 yet because I don't want to buy it right now. It's not.
You shouldn't. No.
I'll pay $10 for it, but you know, granted I get the model looks nice. I'm sure a lot of work went into this thing, but
I like
I owe $20 is $20 to me. Like the thing is, most of my reviews for them, like Oakville, I ripped it to shreds. Couldn't have been more negative if I tried.
I tried Oakville, but I tried it on PC via other methods, and let's just say I did not like the route. To be fair, it was all fright, but there was no passenger services.
No, and some people were like, well, why can't they do it? And then they actually went and were like, we don't have a license with GoTrans. Like, we can't actually do it.
Yeah, because now that's the problem. Like, Jesus.
I mean, I've been working on GoTransit stuff that would fit on there. That the MP36 and the bi-level, I've been working on a GoTransit scheme, but it's not done. Because I made, like, a fictional one. And now, like, someone was like, well, what if you tried to make, like, the real scheme? And I went, I can, but I'll see you next year when it's done. But someone was thinking like, well, Muff can put it on there so you can have commuter service for fun. And I was thinking, yeah, but he's still struggling with the MP36 is giving him a lot of trouble.
Well, the thing with Muff is he cannot from what I've understood, he cannot make what we call it services appear out of thin air. He has to have a base for it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, and this kills me because only TSW is capable of this. No other game does this weird contest thing, which is you can have a formation, you can make a custom formation if it's shorter than the original one or the same length. But if it's even one car more, the entire game goes, nope, can't have that.
Yeah, it's probably to prevent things like overrunning switches on the back.
Yeah, I think it's because of how the dispatcher and the AI works.
They
have pre-processed stuff.
I actually learned just how stingy it is. There's one of the MP15 services, you collect a set of hoppers from like one of the yards and you head south.
Mm-hmm.
There's a set of 8 center beams partially in a kill barrier right near there. I decided I'm going to take them with me. I tried taking them. The game was like, nope, red signal. You're not allowed to leave.
Wow.
It was like, you have more than 3 cars on your train. You can't go anywhere. And I went, but like the switches are lined and everything. And it wouldn't let me build the consist because it was like, nope, it has to be the number 3 or no.
So, question: do you guys remember how on a Penn station especially on the Lear, your train would clip into the platforms?
Yeah.
Have
No.
Have they solved that?
No.
I mean, it's not game breaking. Why would we fix it? Yeah, fair enough. They've already milked the DLCs. No incentive to go fix it.
Well, what I'm more concerned about is what it might be worse with the M3, where if you do that, if you collide with the platform with the M3, it might just like fly off the tracks or something and go scenario derailed.
Doesn't the M3 have an identical shell to the M7?
No, it doesn't. They're different. I think they're different in pretty much every single dimension, as far as I know, except for height.
I thought they looked pretty similar, or at least.
Really?
No, they're actually quite different.
If you think they look very similar, you need new glasses.
Yeah,
I had someone that told me the Peninsula Corridor and the Amtrak switcher looked the same once, and I kind of went.
Okay, they need to.
And I was excuse me.
All American trains look the same, so yes.
No, what you mean is all American trains perform poorly. That's what you mean to say.
But when there was speculation for that DLC with with the Long Island, I kind of was thinking Dovetail would have probably went the cheap way and probably do an MP15 for Long Island Railroad.
I mean,
that would be cool.
Oh, please tell me I copied that correctly.
the thing is, there wouldn't be anything to really run it. Because when you think about it, I don't actually have the Long Island route, but you only get the M7, right?
You only get
Yeah,
the M7.
You do.
Yeah, so they'd have to include rolling stock because those don't have knuckle couple. They have conversion, like they have coupler caps that you could put on, but your thing would be like moving them within like the shops or something.
Yeah. The M7, the M7 they don't have those they don't have those box
Well,
cars.
on the real ones, the actual real. Well, I know on the M8s because okay. The Metro North is a transportation company. Long Island's one of their divisions. I live on the New Haven division. They have trains that are very similar called the M8s, right?
Yes.
They have the same kind of couplers, but they have conversion caps that go to knuckles. What's up?
Oh, it's like a giant rectangle. It looks like a giant. It looks like a jackhammer on its side that they attach to them.
But it can couple up to any conventional knuckle coupler is the problem.
Also, I talk with some of you are familiar with Matt G on here. You've seen him. I asked him, well, can you, in theory, hook up an M7 to an M3? And he went, absolutely not. One would have to be dead. And I went,
No.
oh, well, there goes my scenario idea for Long Island Railroad.
But in terms of those pictures, I'm kind of thinking that maybe they'll have some yard moves, but then more than likely that yard move will probably be a schedule, or it will probably be a scenario mode.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. As I like equipment moves out of yards. Like the one route that gets that right is Peninsula Corridor and Great Western Express. I've been running that dev build that we all know the leaked dev build. Everyone does at this point. So again, I continue to use it despite the fact that it's no longer supported. And the last DLC it supports is the MP15, but the G&W timetable. I haven't compared it to the original one, like in terms of services, but I think there's more stuff. And the fact that you can have both HSTs run alongside one another, who wouldn't want that? Like, and I know Matt's and Pedalson keeps saying like, oh, it's not going to be coming. It could be indefinitely delayed. It's like you wouldn't be testing it thoroughly as you guys have in the game if you weren't planning on doing something with it. Like, otherwise it's just burning money at the company.
I mean, because you can actually go ahead. I also heard that apparently that the GWE they had the FGW liveries for the class 6 for the class 43 for the class 166 and the HST.
Yes, the 43 one fully works. The whole constant substitution thing they've been talking about since Oakville, that's in there. The thing was, when 2 months ago when I discovered this stuff, none of this had been shown to the community yet. No one had let it slip. No one, like Mufford, like anyone had said anything about it yet. So I made a promise with the moderators on here, not the assistant moderators, but the actual moderation team, that I wasn't going to leak anything from the dev build that people weren't supposed to know about yet. Like, I knew about the MP15 like a month before it came out. And I knew about Oakville. Well, actually, everyone knew about Oakville's mastery thing because the thing was in the files. But like, the thing was, the HST GWE, the FGW paint scheme. I think it looks great, and I've worked on it. Or I haven't worked. I've gotten that BR Blues thing that Mac was working on. It's in modding channel from like last week. I got that. That works perfectly because you know how everyone's been trying to get rid of that stupid GWR logo. Yeah. You don't have to worry about this. So the reskin looks great. I can't wait till I get the cars for him so that I can put them in the game, because then you guys will actually have a full BR Blue that looks nice. But the FGW one works fine. I've tested it. It still has. Unfortunately, I can tell you this: there's no sound upgrades coming for that thing. It's the same old sounds. Same old cab interior. It's just a new scheme with a new model. Looks great. Now, the 166, and I was hesitant to talk about this with the community in the past month, even though people had already made it clear, because anyone with U model can just open up the pack phone and go, haha, look, there's the FGW. The 166 is in there. Every file's in there. The simulation files. There's like 2 formations. The reason it doesn't work, it doesn't have a lot of formation files, so it won't load into the timetable. I asked Muff about it, and he basically said, well, there's no formations for it, so I can't make it work. I'd have to hack it into the GWR one to make it work. Like, there's even a menu select icon and everything. Basically, unless we have another dev build accidentally released, which, Dovetail, please, just once, please, I'm begging you. Please mess up a TSW release one more time. I need another dev build. But unless we get that, the 166 right now, it's going to be one of those things where Muff would have to spend months trying to get it to work. I tried hacking it in with the same hex setting he does, and TSW just kind of refused to start.
And then there's also that new northeast corridor DLC.
Northeast Corridor is...
SW1000R.
that switcher is great. I just don't like that...
Switcher's awesome.
The switcher is awesome. The cab car is... The real cab car is awesome. The sim one, like... Granted, unfortunately, I hate to say this because it invalidates my ability to review it. The cab car only being accessible halfway on the route is realistic. It doesn't go east unless it's a tow truck service, which they actually have on Amtrak. I wish I was making that up.
Yuri.
What's up?
This is the Union Pacific Railroad Hollywood Yard, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It's in northwestern Louisiana.
Ah. Okay,
This
so
is called
we're...
Hollywood Yard. You remember the Hollywood, California, and Florida?
Wait a sec. Hollywood... I've been to Hollywood, actually.
Yeah, but they had the Hollywood Yard in Shreveport.
That's gonna forever mess up my mind. Cause
Yeah,
now if I ever go to Hollywood, I'm gonna end up calling it Shreveport. Everyone around me's gonna go, "What are you, nuts?"
It's the yard name, Hollywood. It's a UP yard name.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not actually in Hollywood.
We have a Florida in Massachusetts,
Really?
but it's on a hill where the little town on top of the Hoosick Tunnel is called Florida.
We have a place called America in the Netherlands.
There's a place called Batman in Turkey.
Yeah, true.
Thanks, internet historian, for that one.
Oh no, fuck me.
Uh-oh, what happened this time?
Yeah, so apparently, without telling me, one of the textures fronts on the BR204 is mirrored in the texture file.
Oh no!
But why would you ever mirror it if there's 2 individual fronts? There's literally no reason to mirror it.
Wait, that sounds... now that whole conspiracy you're mentioning about the whole, how it was the TS model...
Yeah.
That would start to make sense, because...
I saw some of the Union Pacific Genesis out there.
Are you talking about the BR204?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been basically already confirmed that Dovetail Games took the existing model they had and
That's
sent
what
it
I heard.
off to Rivet Games. Rivet Games just did the implementation to Train Sim World.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Are you
That's-
serious? Oh my
And
god.
that's the reason why the author of the original 204 was so upset that it was given to another company to convert it
Oh,
to
really?
Train Sim World.
Did he
and it is
actually-
now of minor quality.
Wait, is
Yeah,
there proof
Yeah,
that he
that's-
got angry about it? Because I'd love to
Yeah.
see this.
I think he actually turned up in a short chat with Matt here, and well, he didn't chat with Matt directly, but he basically went on to clarify that he's not responsible for the shitty port of this locomotive, and that he thinks it shouldn't have been done this way, and that he is kind of nasty that he wasn't asked about this because he would have done it much better.
Oh, I don't blame him.
But
Yeah, it's pretty much like, hey, I'm still your work and put my
But,
name
I
tag
mean-
on it.
But, I mean, since Rivet Games is basically Dovetail Games Scotland, they're still engaging in some heavy dick sucking with each other. So it was
Yeah, of
obvious
course.
that Rivet Games needed to be the first third-party developer to do something. So they
Yeah.
needed, and I mean, they needed the shunting locomotive. This was the best shunting locomotive model that Dovetail Games had in their hands. So they just arranged it like this way.
And you want to hear the scummiest thing they've done to accompany this? On Rivet Games' YouTube channel, they actually published a video with the 3D model, where they fully suggest that they made it from the ground up, and they even called the video building the 204 and not porting it over.
Wow.
What?
I can give you the video if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
Rivet Games is trying to claim that it is their locomotive, but
Yeah.
it really.
Cool.
I mean, you can see by the way the implementation is being done. They've never seen this locomotive in real life. Obviously, they haven't. They're high up in Scotland, so
Okay, so
yeah,
I will just post the link in the German chat.
They just got the TS model from Dovetail Games.
Yeah,
and,
so look what I put in the
over.
German content.
That's
They
it.
dev blog building the BR204 for TSW.
I've been hesitant
that's
to-
already a lie.
I there would be like saying the well, actually, that's not a lie though for Dovetail saying the M7's built from the ground up because they made it.
Yeah, that one.
J Class, I couldn't agree more. This just feels like MSTS models in Run 8. Oh yeah, I didn't tell people that. Some of the buildings, why people think some of the buildings in Run 8 look bad, it's because they're from 3D Train Stuff's MSTS catalog from back in the day.
Oh.
You're looking at 2002 models.
Well, I mean the BR155 was also a TS1 board.
London,
So yeah,
thanks.
we're just gonna go down this trend for the coming future. We're just gonna get the best TS1 stuff ported over.
Well, if they do it properly and don't claim that it's from the ground up, I don't really mind, to be honest.
Oh, Midland's listening to this. Hey.
And I
If
also
anything, I was cut off
Where is he?
earlier by my parents walking in.
Hey,
Oh,
Yuri,
I finally managed, by the way.
What?
Look at my stream if you
on
can.
YouTube, but YouTube, say you're watching the funniest video, like Angry Grandpa.
Angry Grant.
Oh yeah, he passed
Hey,
away
see it,
a few
Yuri?
years ago. Yeah.
I was watching it on now.
Oh, I gotta take a super quick look at this. Where am I looking? Oh, on your stream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, this worked.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
very minor repaint. But look, here it's mirrored for some
Are you?
fucking-
How do you?
But why? Because these are two individual textures. There's no reason to mirror them.
Wait, they really are?
It's not like they... Yeah, it's not like they use the same texture twice, because then it would have been logical. It's so stupid.
Someone told me once that they were like, "Oh, they're doing this to save file space," and I went, "Listen, man, this isn't like this isn't 1980s where disk space
Yeah,
was
it's not like-
crucial."
yeah.
If they adjusted this texture a little bit more, it would change it by maybe, I don't know, 100 kilobytes.
Yeah. If that...
Even on consoles, oh boy, you've lost an extra 100
Yuri,
kilobytes.
nice
Now
to meet
Train
you.
Sim World won't start. Like, go ahead.
By the way, I have the soundboard
Yuri,
installed if anybody
I know
wants to
it's
hear
nice
it.
to meet you. I had to go, so you have a great one.
Hey, you too, man. It's a pleasure to
See you,
meet.
man.
It's a pleasure to meet anyone in this community. I genuinely mean that.
The community saves this game, let's be honest.
also have to say about it seems like net has a horrible timetable.
Which one?
Oh,
Northeastern
NTP.
Corridor. Northeastern Corridor.
Oh, as an actual resident of Northeast Corridor, don't worry. We 100% agree. Everyone in
Not to
America
talk
that
bad about the NEC pack, but
Yeah.
the NEC
Oh, boy.
was the NEC is how do I put this lightly? The NEC is it's a product that you can buy with money. That's about all I can say about it.
the title is
Why does actually
misleading,
everyone
by
hate
the way.
Northeast Corridor so much?
Here's the problem.
The title
biggest part is the
misleading in its
timetable.
own.
The timetable was made by copy pasting two services into oblivion for the most part. The other thing is that a lot of the detail, there's the signaling. The biggest complaint is that
Signaling, yeah.
the
that's it.
signaling for the most part doesn't work properly. Like if you go through the Penn tunnel, everyone complains about how access doesn't work or the ATC. That's because in those tunnels in real life, there's like 12 signals. In Dovetail's version, there's like 2.
Yeah.
So trains that would normally be able to go out one right after another in those tunnels have to wait for one train to completely exit the tunnel before the next one, which destroys any ability for a proper timetable because of the way.
Not only the, holy crap, you gotta wait like 5 minutes after it leaves the tunnel before you even get an amber.
And the other thing is that there's some issues with the locomotive and the fleets. They look great, and granted, has anyone seen Nexo's mod where he revamped both those?
Yeah, I saw
those.
that.
That looks amazing. I swapped out my Genesee and Wyoming pack just for those because I went. The M fleets look shiny. They look.
I need a link to these. Actually, this sounds cool.
He made them really nice. I'll send you links for them. They're really amazing. Like you would.
Please and thanks.
The 4400 looks weathered, which is true because every single one of them I've ever seen has at least run through a dust storm once. And the N fleets, the phrase "everything is chrome in the future" is an understatement of how chrome these are. When Nexo is done, they are amazing.
The timetable isn't that good on. It's pretty bad on NEC.
And I mean, granted, they have tried to change it around. Like I'll be completely honest. The whole upgrade that the 15. I can't even remember what the hell the switch on the cab car brought. How it added more services and it actually made like. It gave you more regional services that actually ran smartly. Like they would actually go into Sunnyside. It wasn't just like Sunnyside was I'll give it this. It made Sunnyside have a use which it never had, which is a huge deal. The problem is that as a product in general, there's a lot of things where you're looking at what Dovetail did and you're kind of thinking, what was being thought of here? Because there's a lot of stuff with TSW that you feel kind of dumbfounded looking at it. It feels like you have a big sign over your head that says "sucker" when you bought it, because you're thinking this is one of America's busiest railroads in the entire Northeast. I know, and you've got.
And they only have one type of train.
Like New York, New Haven is the same thing, but that brought a little bit more to the table because you actually had. The thing is, you have the Amtrak unit. You have but you have most of the complaints have to do with broken signaling, just not so great scenery, and just inaccuracies, and just an inaccurate timetable. The rest of it is, for the average consumer, not a bad thing. But it's not the best.
No, not at all.
There's other parts of the NEC you could have done. You could have done New Haven to. Actually, that's a bad idea.
What?
You could have
You're
done
gonna
like
say the Springfield line of today.
Oh God, no, because that would
Because
require.
they can get away with how horrible it looks.
No, they can't, because Pan Am would go. Well, that's our trackage. Doesn't matter if our content's not on it. Sued.
No, but the CTO Hartford line.
That's why Portland
That they can
Terminal
get away
dies,
with.
because
Well,
Pan
why
Am.
would they sue them if they're running the only timetable where they actually run on time?
You know what? Speaking of the Hartford,
That's true. The
I
Hartford
needed to
line
say
is
the cab cars. Holy crap!
the
I just
cab
need to-
car.
I found a new glitch with the cab car.
Oh no! Don't.
I
don't-
tried.
You're not
Another one.
gonna like this.
I tried making my own variant of it.
Okay, what's the bug? I'm curious.
All right, so
I want to test it
get
later.
Get this. It does not work. I accidentally touched it. It does not work. The pantograph down switch, if you accidentally even sneeze near it, you can't raise the pantograph back up. By that switch or in the cab of the 64, you can't raise it back up. Once it's down, it's down. It's not going back.
That's why you got it with the shunter. If you accidentally press it, you'll need to ask your shunter to come pick you up.
You're gonna have to put the SW1000 on your train then. You killed the 64 by turning the pantograph down in the cab car. You can't turn it back on.
Oh, do you mean that little switch that's on the top of the cab car? This is lower
Yes,
pantograph.
that's the pantograph normal and lower.
Oh
If you
yeah, no,
push
it's
it
been
to
like
lower,
that.
you
It's
can't
been
raise
like
it
that
back
since
up.
it's been like that since day one. It only works one way.
I got a question.
Not
Does
only
anyone?
that, you can't go to the 64 and raise it either. It doesn't work.
What's that question?
Does anyone know a way to remove the decals from the M2? Like, basically, you know where it has the watch the gap shit, and then also has the that shit on the side is saying assaulting MTA. You know?
Oh, you're talking about real works.
Yeah.
Yeah, Repo's
Ooh.
model. That's actually very good.
Yeah, I'm trying to make an actual 70s M2.
Hey, folks in the chat, don't forget to purchase Repo's content. This post was sponsored by Dovetail Games.
Make sure to get the
I mean, well, I
New
got the
Haven
M2 as well.
EF4s.
It's totally not like Dovetail's holding my family hostage to think, please send help.
Blink twice if you're being held hostage.
Make sure to get the New Haven EF4s for NEC New York to New Haven.
That was the only
you get
reason
some
I wanted to
really
get NEC New York.
I mean, the only
You get some
reason.
really nice AI only GP9s.
You know, to be honest, the only reason I bought the U34 New Jersey Transit DLC was just to make repaints.
I thought it was to mock it.
I mean, and then but there's also one DLC route that looks very appealing. That's the ECW.
Oh, East Coast
The-
Way?
Yeah.
I actually have it, and I haven't played it a lot recently, but
I think it's great.
it feels. I mean, if Law Jester likes it, I mean, I knew that was already a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
But it runs pretty well. And granted, I'll say this: the timetable is forgiving as hell. I overshot a station doing 80, backed up to it.
Wait, how?
Because I saw the distance counter come up while streaming with friends on Discord, and I was kind of thinking, oh, I need to stop soon, and I didn't fully put it into apply. And so, by the time the station marker showed 200 yards to a stop, and I'm coming in at 87 miles an hour.
So, I have a magical tip for you. If you ever overshot and back up, never cross the signal. Because if you cross the signal, it's never going to go green
There's
again.
one station that doesn't have that, as far as I know.
And you got that one, probably.
I got that one. It was in one of the scenarios.
You're a lucky son of a bitch.
Speaking about the Hartford line, apparently they want to order new coaches.
Yeah, because the Boston saw what we did to them.
The New Haven because New Haven
They
said,
want-
"Hey, you can't own nice things. We're poor."
They want to
Honest-
order new coaches for the Hartford line and for Shoreline East.
Oh,
I thought
God.
SL. Why is SLE considering that? They still haven't even figured out how to get that M8 permit that they wanted.
I was about to say, yeah, by the time they're going to get the new cars, the M8s are going to be... The new M units are going to be ready
Hey,
for that line.
I just gotta say this: we should all be thankful we're getting an M3 and not an M8 for Train Sim World.
Also, the new
I
bar
mean,
cars.
but what use would an M8 be for Train Sim World? It
Not on
would-
that
it would
route, at
probably
least.
be an M9.
Well, the only
Also-
use for an M8 is to watch it be torn apart in a junkyard.
They said
That, and
something.
also, it could make sense at New Rochelle Station for AI trains. Any
Casey, Dovetail might be listening. We're gonna get charged $40 for an upgrade of NEC. Don't give them ideas. They're gonna be like,
But
we've
hey, what if they
revamped.
extend the line to
It's gonna be
New
like,
Haven,
we've
though?
revamped NEC. Really? No, but here's an M8.
But
Or
what if
they-
brought
or
the
they
line to
might
New
split it
Haven?
in
That would
two.
be cool.
Like a second part of New Haven corridor from New Rochelle to Stanford or New Haven.
NEC2 Electric Boogaloo.
Well, so if we're on the subject of route extensions and the northeast corridor, while we're at it, so
You know
the
what-
only complaint.
You know what route that's never coming out? It's that fucking Philadelphia to Washington route.
I want that.
Oh,
But so
don't mention his name though, but I know who you mean.
So, about route extensions, the only thing I will not forgive Dovetail Games, out of many things actually, is so this East Coast Way, the real life services actually run like 2 stations further than what is
And
it
they
called?
didn't do it.
Eastbourne. And they didn't do it. And it would have literally been like 5 miles extra, 10 miles extra. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you?
Are you talking about that Victoria branch, or are you talking about the branch that
It's
goes
a
left
British
after-
It's
line.
not a branch, it's the extension of the main line.
Oh,
The one thing and granted, I feel like an idiot because I thought this was how it worked because it's the one time I underestimated Dovetail was, that whole rail tour scenario, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Like,
Yeah, with the,
like almost rear-ending a
30,
377 with a Class 31 doing almost 90s. A lot of fun and heart-pounding. But the thing that got me with it is I was thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those stupid services where it's going to go exactly back to the station I started at. And then I watched it go off a portal on a Switch, and I went, where the hell is that going? And then people were like, oh, no, that's where it's supposed to go. And I went, it's supposed to go to another part of the rail route. It's based off a real rail tour. And I went, wait, Dovetail got it accurate?
Yeah, you probably mean the part at Lewis.
Yes.
That big Y split.
That big Y split, which I haven't shown this to people yet, but if you go back there with the debug camera, there's just railroad signs and speed limit signs you would never see back there, just neatly placed exactly where they should be.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I mean, granted, I found out that, so this is something, you know how everyone keeps going over the conspiracy that I've been putting out, which is that Long Island Road and NEC were the same route? You want more proof?
Oh, what do you mean?
So if you fly, there's a set of tracks actually from the NEC DLC in the Long Island Railroad's Penn Station model.
Yeah.
And if you follow them, a route tile from the west end of Penn Station from the NEC DLC with all of its scenery is there, with the Long Island Railroad track floating above it.
That's interesting.
And I even looked through all the files one day. I was like, well, this is strange. And the more I looked at it, and when Muff finally merged the routes together, I had a
Wait, he merged the routes together?
What you could, in a way, he didn't merge them the way he did with like RSN and like Ryan Austin, where they're like the track literally matches up.
Oh, I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, Ryan Austin and because they both have Hagen. Both have the same world origin point at Hagen. So he drove a train by using the save exploit and drove a train from... And Pedelson didn't even know this was a thing that was possible. Mind you, this is his game. This is not...
That's really interesting, because he's always been saying we don't know if it's technically possible yet
and
to
he
link
watched
them.
the stream, and Muff took a train from Ryan Austin, rocketed down the line, and then hit Hagen and jumped onto the rails at RSN.
That's hilarious.
And Pedelson was like, well, I'll be damned. I didn't know you could do that.
And
people were kind of like, but it's your game engine!
But yeah, so that's what maybe you guys can answer this. What is Matt actually?
Some other things to worry about than.
Well, I mean, Pedelson is
stuff.
Yeah, and Pedelson is well, he's a senior producer, so it's a management position basically. Like,
yeah, he doesn't necessarily know everything what the game does internally.
Right, which is why
he knows who you can ask. But
it's why I felt anyone. It's why I felt bad for him when he did the SW1000R stream, and I had been reviewing it an hour prior. So when if you ever watch my live stream, you hear me going, "Oh, he's reviewing it. Oh, this ought to be good," and I screamed. I screamed at trying to get the cab car running, and then someone tells me while watching his stream through my chat, he's trying to get it to move, and it's not moving. And mind you, this is in front of the Train Sim community. That he's showing off a product that had just released. And it makes sense because he's a management position, but it was one of those things where I'm like, there's clearly some miscommunication going on. Because normally if you're like a figurehead of a company and you're showing off a product, you would want to know as much about that product as humanly possible, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
you do have to give him though. He usually does know all the special.
And he usually does. When it comes to the German stuff, he knows. He's on point with it.
He knows
usually
everything
the UK.
except the pronunciation.
If I don't the German words.
Pronunciation is Dimitri's German is so much better.
Where are you guys mentioning in from?
I think Dimitri's leaving because he's upset with the management, but I don't know.
Is he leaving?
Paddleson?
Yes.
No.
Demetrius. He said that he's I don't want to say a lot, but I'll say what I know is public because that's all I know. Is that he is leaving because he's moving to another place somewhere in the UK, but it's not close to. It's not in. Where are they again? Chatham.
Mhm.
where their office is located.
Yeah.
At.
So he's in a different spot. So he's moving on to work for some mobile games company.
Oh boy, what
Oh,
is that for a
jeez.
switch?
And I don't remember what it was, but that was definitely a point for me where he sounded confident about it. It was the first time ever where I
Also,
thought worries. I was
Probably
like,
that Train Z mobile app.
About the M3, I mean,
Yeah, Train's mobile is in development. It's probably going to come out later this year.
yeah, it's gonna. Mika, you and I both know it's probably gonna be on like the Train's 2006 engine. So like, we've upgraded the engine by downgrading it.
No. It's actually a mobilized version of the Train 2019 engine.
yeah.
Oh, now I'm terrified because my phone won't run it.
Actually,
I don't know if you've seen the in development screenshots, but it looks extremely good for a mobile.
you know the
No,
reason
I
why
haven't.
they're doing it? It's because
Should I-
phones are getting more advanced.
Yeah.
Like you have phones that are
Let me dig them up because it does look really good. Let me see.
12 gigs of RAM.
Wait, you have to have 12 for what?
No, I meant I'm saying like the newer Samsung Galaxy phones, like mine has 8 gigs of RAM. Like the newer ones have 12. And you have phones that have at least a terabyte of storage.
I mean, but I can also say this about that 377. I like the fact that it actually has working display signs.
Yeah, the
And
M3.
apparently also it also has something with the third rail. Yeah,
Which one?
the Class 377.
Yeah, it works on third rail. Yeah.
That was the thing that screwed me up, which I didn't realize when I first started running. Is I got into the tutorial and I was like, all right, they're gonna tell me how to start it up, and then they were like, and you're just gonna go, and I went, wait, what?
Yeah, and also I thought in the pre-release treatment they said something about coupling the two units together.
There
But
is
I've
a
never
scenario that lets you do that, which thankfully has been fixed. Because when it first came out, if you tried coupling the two, they would just bounce off one another. And it was so hilarious
that's
because
what I-
if you went into timetable mode and you watched the AI do it, the AI would go to couple up and that would just sit there. It couldn't do it.
Oh well.
For the M3 though, like the reason why it looks like it was rushed, because obviously because of that fucking live stream that it was accidentally shown and then people started bugging.
I still cannot find that.
I think they've since taken it down because they think that it contains like the nuclear launch codes for the UK or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
They probably
Okay,
did
I'm
damage
just-
control by
I'm just gonna post the mobile in development pics.
And no, we
I'm
don't
curious,
even know
Mika.
that could have.
I'm just gonna post them in other train simulators.
We don't even know that could have been like an early build of the M3.
It is. Did I not tell you that last night, Krim?
Yeah,
I
I
must-
mean,
Basically, Pappelson, M. Peddleson, Incorporated Limited, the third Esquire. Someone DM'd him the other day when it came out, and basically was like, well, is something up? Is this like it's still these are really pre-release screenshots because the numbering's off. He said, oh yeah, no, this is not done. Like we're still working on it. Which, again, I'll say this, granted, I'm no Long Island Railroad person. Like, I've ridden on Long Island Railroad maybe twice in my entire life. Because I don't live in New York. But, Matthew Applebaum III, Esquire, MD, basically said it's a pre-release version. And my guess is if they had to leak this stuff as early as they did, it's probably a month out, which, you know what? I'm fine with that because
A month.
it gives me enough time to maybe hack into the mainframe and get a version of Oakville where everything works.
Wait, so did they announce the M3 because it was leaked?
As
Pretty
far
much.
I think
It was
so.
possibly as damage control.
Oh yeah.
and then
Which
everyone
is
started
which is
talking
unfortunate
shit.
because it's one of those moments of just
Then you have those fucks talking shit about how bad it looks. They think that's the final product.
You keep saying this though, but I've looked for what you're talking about and I haven't seen it. So I'm
Well, can you really blame them for thinking it's the final product? Because that's usually in the state where they announce it.
I mean, I know they always have that little thing that says this represents work in progress stuff, but it's normally like 2 weeks out. So it's like,
Yeah, it's always the final
work in
list.
progress to what?
Another thing, why don't they make their employees like sign NDAs?
I think they do, but we also didn't. NDAs also don't normally incorporate coronavirus and working from home during a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because the U.S. thinks they're invincible, and I know I sound so anti-American when I say this, but I'm sorry, the USA just doesn't.
I mean, you don't see Rockstar Games employees showing off like.
Not yet. Dovetail has led the way in this, Karim. You might be getting GTA 6 alpha beta version Steam keys in your mailbox at some point.
But I did understand a bit about that current LRR, that current Long Island Railroad service mode.
Right, and I
in this Discord is that it was rushed because the Matt's original timetable it wasn't able to be incorporated into the game because of the old dispatcher.
No, you're completely right. What had happened was, you guys know how we have had he says they've rebuilt the dispatcher like twice.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as far as I know, and again, I can't even quote myself on this because I don't know. I believe it was dispatcher. I have to look in the dev build to figure out which one it is, because the dev build actually tells you tells me which route has which dispatcher, which I wish we would know. Basically, the dev build does something the regular one doesn't do that all of you would love, which is it prints out a log file.
I think I remember the dispatcher. It was dispatcher 1.
Yeah, dispatcher V1 couldn't really account for if you were late. It was just like, sorry, your red signal forever. And V2 made it so that they had that whole thing where if you're a little bit late or a little bit early, it'll try to prioritize trains. V1 physically, I think it had basically like a limit to how many trains could handle at once. And basically, Long Island Railroad exceeded what the dispatcher could do, so it wouldn't work. So the dispatcher's what held back the timetable. And so Peddleson had to basically work with Dovetail and basically make a crippled version of it, so to speak, so that it would run. Because the dispatcher, I think it wouldn't even work on console.
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine what Heavy Haul's original timetable looked like when they tested it on console, because the file for it is still the Xbox One timetable is still in Heavy Haul's files.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I know Dovetail makes it sound like they couldn't get it running on console at all. No, that's not correct. It didn't run properly. It ran, but that's like saying that Crysis runs on Windows 98. In theory, it can. But would you really want to?
You know what you're talking about because of performance-wise.
Exactly. Let me. I just want to look this up really quick. I think there should be. I don't know what happened to the PS4 timetable file, but the Xbox One timetable should. Let's see. Packs. Select folder. Open.
Yeah, because I just wish that they would have at least made at least a few things. I wish they would have at least had fixed some things, because I do have quite a few gripes with it. One of them being that the eastbound express track, when you come down from Penn Station all the way up to Jamaica, it's never used. The only time it gets used is one scenario.
I've heard about that. There's tracks that just don't get used. Then there's entire portals on most of the routes that have no services that come from them.
Yeah, because they probably don't get run by the trains included in the DLC in real life.
Oak Point Yard no, it's not Oak Point. I'm an idiot. Fresh Pond, excuse me, has a portal that goes into the trees for some reason, because why wouldn't it? That's where trains come from, is from underground, obviously.
Of course.
The CSX subway system. But it's basically like, oh, I gotta type in the word Xbox.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to go walk the dog. It's been real nice talking to y'all. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Okay, see you.
Game, core, assets, HUD, personalities, Xbox Founders Edition personnel. What?
You know, another reason why a lot of this shit in Train Sim World is a bit small for the routes, it's because of the console edition.
I wish that wasn't the case.
Well, it is because everything they make and they port over, they have to. It's the case with like Grand Theft Auto 5. That the game was built on the last gen consoles, the Xbox 360 and PS3, so they couldn't upscale them.
Oh wow, those in-dev pics actually look nice for a thing.
Consoles have too many limitations.
And then in addition, they have the trains that do run express when Penn use the westbound express track. And then you have the trains that supposed to go express after Jamaica to Penn Station. They use the local track.
Ugh. There is
Instead
some
of this-
strange tomfoolery that happened with Long Island Railroad.
Instead of them just using the express track, that they even use the express track and around 1 to 2 scenarios. And one of those scenarios are the ones that is the one that went to Long Island City.
Oh, the first scenario?
Yes, you know the one with the change at Jamaica. Yeah, you actually get to use the westbound express track as if you're heading towards Penn Station.
Right. I actually remember that. I've only ever played it once.
Yeah,
Z is telling me.
they actually used it that way.
See, damage
Then-
control, cocks, shotgun, screw consoles. Just focus on PC. Yeah, I mean, Z, we both know that we what we think
Yeah.
about the whole consoles thing. Listen, I mean, if I was a person that was rich enough to own an Xbox One but poor enough to not have a PC, sure, I'd probably get Train Sim World. But you know, I could also play Polar Express for the Game Boy Advance, and it might be a little bit more of a wholesome experience.
And then there's what I heard on the forums as well as here is that apparently those express services to Hampstead, apparently they're all fake.
What? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's some stuff that. Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they said the express portions, the ones that have from Floral Park, and then the next and last stop is Hempstead. Apparently that's fictional.
What the hell?
Yep. Even Law Justice said it several times.
I feel like they need to make a new service mode for the Northeast Corridor route because Secaucus shouldn't be a stop.
Hey, maybe you could ask Muff if it can just delete the files for Secaucus. Just so when an AI gets there, it just
And also,
doesn't do anything.
no, because they need to also add the fucking Metroliner cab car services to stop at Newark Airport.
It should, but it doesn't. There's only one place it does.
Newark Penn.
No, there's only one time it ever stops there. That one scenario you get with the cab car, called front to back, it does all stops.
Wow.
It's the only one that does that. You'll like this a lot. What am I looking
That was
at?
probably... They probably rushed it, which is why it's a...
What am
It
I
was never
looking
added.
at from... Oh no, what is this thing I'm watching? Oh god, I recognize this.
And then Then there's also the Hicksville ones. Apparent for Lord Jester, he was saying about how he wished they would have at least did it to Huntington instead of Hicksville.
There's, I mean, maybe that's why why they don't want to give the editor hours because they know people will fix this. They'd be like, the community's fixing it. We gotta stop them. How long have I been
Yeah,
streaming for?
and then especially since that apparently the Hicksville branch is sadly that you only get one train per hour.
Yeah, I was reading about and that kind of confused the heck out of me because
Could have been easy to also add the Far Rockaway branch. Like
I don't know.
It's that close.
Is
Like,
that the
it
one that
wouldn't be
diverges off at Hicksville? Like right before
No,
Hicksville?
It's the one that diverges off from Jamaica.
Oh, that one that we only have like 500 feet of?
Yeah.
Oh.
And like it has a portion of the Babylon branch in it.
I'd completely forgotten my music had stopped playing.
That could have been easy to add, but they decided just to do the Hempstead and then the main line of Hicksville.
Because there's nothing wrong with the Hempstead trackage. It's just that with the main line, it's pretty barren considering that the main line trains they don't even stop at Floral Park, and you only get one train at Hicksville. That kind of a little bit ticked me off when I did one scheduled route there. I was wondering, where's the next train coming? Then I looked at the timetable, and I discovered it's just gonna be fun. It's just another train ain't coming for another hour. If
Let's
another
grab
train,
these files.
another one another one didn't come for another hour. And then apparently there's also a bit of a sad fact that I don't know what the name for it is, but apparently it's something where you press the button it's at a yard, and you can just change the direction of a track, and it's like the track is in a circle. I don't know exactly what to call it though.
A turntable?
Yes. Yeah, because there's one in the Jamaica area, but it's sad that it didn't get used.
Yeah, because Heavy Haul has a turntable that you can use.
I mean, the same thing goes.
Hell,
goes
you can
Rapid
use the
Transit.
turntable in Heavy Haul.
Is in Rapid Transit, there is a turntable, but you can't even use that.
Alright, I'm back. Let's get this.
But yeah, there's a turntable on Long Island apparently.
I spent 2 hours yapping and I have done no actual work in that time.
I mean, that could be for anything. I mean, unless they decide to add the DM30, but they keep denying it that it's ever coming.
Yeah, because they have that turntable there, but it's also quite a bit sad that then you also have to remember there's also the Atlantic Avenue part, which barely sees usage. Now, what was you saying?
I mean, actually, it's possible that they could be adding the DM30, but they're not. They don't want to say it.
I don't think so. Not now.
I mean, they have Long Island City, and they have...
Can't they use the M7s and M3s for that, or no?
No, because the platforms at Long Island City only service diesel.
Oh.
Hunters Point Avenue is a stop they have train that use EMUs for, but mostly that stop is just for trains that are going to Oyster Bay or up to Montauk.
Oh.
Alright, let's close some of these files and let's actually test. I've spent 2 hours mostly yapping and not a lot of work. So let's get down to business and get this thing loaded. Gotta get rid of my NS auto rack though. Yeet! It's the first time I've said that unironically.
I mean, because he also talked about that Belmont Park branch. I mean not the branch, the service. Basically, how he said he put the terminating train on another track because apparently there wasn't anywhere to put it. I do wish that Belmont branch had a bit more usage.
Alright, let's hope that this Train Sim World nightmare loads. Oh no, I just realized which mod I have loaded as my main menu. It's the anime mod from Mika. It shows... Well, Mika's here for... Oh no, he's walking the dog. This is the Nico Para mod.
I'm still listening. Hello. How may I help
just
you?
realized I have the Nico Para mod still loaded as my main menu.
Oh god.
Have you seen the video I've posted from my Tiers 19 mod?
I saw the stuff you sent yesterday, and I also saw the ship post, the crab rave thing. I love those. I love all of it.
Thanks, but I meant the YouTube video. Wait, did I not send the YouTube video on this server?
I did actually. Have sent. I know you PM'd me something, which was the Trains 19 mod. You sent the. I saw those dev pics. I like them.
I'm just gonna PM you the YouTube video again.
Here we go, guys. Fingers in the chat.
So
I know.
That's what I've done yesterday.
I know some people will recognize this mod from my please send help video on YouTube. That was the best Photoshop I'd ever done at Pedal Sims, was that.
So, Ragnar was actually making an MP50.
He's working on a MP, a thing. Yeah, he's working on it.
Why do I have a feeling it looks like it's being converted from MSCS?
Crew, you gotta give him more credit than that. He made Penn Station.
Wait, what?
He's been working on a... Are you not a part of the interlocking?
No, I am, but I'm always looking on the MTA disc. What was he... Where's he putting them in? Project?
Yeah, I think they're dev general, maybe? Or dev... general, dev general, I think. I am... How did I...
I can't... I don't see that channel. I'm guessing you have to have a specific...
Oh, I'd have to show them to you then. But no, there was a thing he showed that was kind of... Why can I not find the one surface that loads auto racks?
I don't even understand.
By the way, in the game right now, all I can see is the Conrail scheme thing.
I know why. It's because OBS is looking for the dev build, isn't it? Yep. Oh, there it goes. Now you'll see it. Wait, no, you won't. What the heck? Hold on.
Because once again, you remember what my second monitor is that I'm watching the stream
I know
on?
why. It's because Paint.net's a higher priority focused application in the stream. There we go. Oh boy,
I can confirm in a few seconds.
Oh, really? The load screen for the M7s, M3, M9.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
I'm gonna call it the M4 by the end of it or something. We can only see paint. I thank you for tagging me 30,000 times, J-Class. I'm in Twitch. That really helps me, really just really
Wait.
gives me great gusto to want to look in the chat.
I never seen the P72 card in this fucking.
What P70? Krim, did you try that open rails route that is on trainsim.com? Because I haven't yet.
Yeah, I have it.
However,
Wait a second.
Where can I post this? Looking at, I guess, Train Talk.
Wait a second. So there are actually more routes than the one. There are actually more routes than the one that's on that. The ones that are on Steam.
If you look in Train Talk, there's
For rail
this
work,
piece of
yes.
car that has the new Road logo on it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that car a few days ago. About before the F3 is that. About how that could have been possibly one of their DLCs.
Oh, this is a paradox. I've got the original Unreal Tournament menu music playing on my live stream, and I'm playing an Unreal 4 game, which is what plays the new Unreal Tournament. This is paradoxical. Maybe I'll play Doom music the next time I play Wolfenstein.
The music
Okay, let's
was
take a look at
97.
what my reskin looks like when the pixels have loaded.
They're playing Payday 2.
What did I do to my skin? Oh,
What?
there's a
You just
minor
do it
adjustment. It needed
shoot for?
And the text works though. Oh, see, I see the numbers are separate. The numbers are separate. I gotta fix it. See, this is all correct now. This all is actually. Oh, I'm happy with this. Hey, it did everything.
It's doubling up Conroe. Go.
TTGX, correct. And what does it say up here? Hey! It wasn't a total. Okay, excess height is supposed to be black. I need to fix that. Wait, do what? Is that supposed to be white on an auto rack? Conrail? Okay, so in the photos you DM me, can you check that real quick? Is the upper part of the door supposed to be white? I have a feeling they're not supposed to be. Also, fact for anyone who's ever looked in this chat right now, who's ever looked at my mods, there's one you need to uninstall because I made an idiot out of myself. Do not, for the love of God, install the blue coil car mod from Camo's site. Because the game already has a blue coil car, it's just randomized.
You know, if they're making that new version, I mean, that new Trains mobile game, they should port it to the Nintendo Switch.
What you think Nintendo's gonna want to talk to N3V?
Excess car height is it's not black, but it's a dark faded gray, if that makes sense.
I mean,
I think you can get a good shot. If you've got an image from it, I can paste it in and paint bucket it
in
'cause I'm
the-
lazy.
Okay, I don't have a head-on one. Is the thing. I'm looking at the images I changed.
Okay,
It's not
probably isn't a
black,
head-on
it's a
dark faded gray.
I mean, I could find a generic excess car height thing and do that.
I also have to plug someone else's mods while I'm on the screen. If anyone's ever looked at NGC 427, go check out his Canadian National Enhancement Pack Rogue, though. It makes the unit look really nice.
And the reason why it takes me a second to talk is once again push to talk. I have to be in Discord in the thing that says push to talk.
To
So.
push. EA
But
Sports Talk.
the rest of the car looks good. You doubled the logo on the actual auto rack.
Oh, I almost showed. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show it because if Mika's on stream, I'll show what my Streamlust focused image looks like because it looks. I'll just show it because why not? I'll show it for like 8 seconds and then I won't.
Well, what is it then?
You'll see.
Alright.
You've seen it before, but it's probably disappeared now. But if you backtrack. Bruh, cease. J-Class, no, I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna continue to make anime-ridden garbage posts. Soon there won't be a single. Soon there won't be a single texture in Train Sim World that doesn't have anime girls on it.
Is that what you meant you'd show us?
Oh, I've lost focus of the stream.
I've lost
yeah.
focus on the stream.
Was it also you that made that made a pink and that made a pink M7?
Yes, that was me. Yeah, you've probably seen the terrible argument between Law and I about that. Or actually, the link on that video I think is still bringing people to this server.
Wait, really?
All of my Discord links from the TSC I set to be permanent, so that it would always bring people in, even if I couldn't. Wait a second. How did I... Wait, the Conrail logo looks...
The Conrail logo doubled itself.
Oh no, I know why.
Let me guess.
You see how this is highlighted here?
No, we can't see it. It's still scrolling through the images.
Oh, it's please forgive me.
No, I can see like the corners of that. You're
Excuse me, Mr.
TSW
Obama?
What the fuck?
You gotta switch screens again.
I fixed it now. So here's what I did.
Alright, once again, stream.
So you see the big box here that makes me look like an idiot, where I was talking about Matt Pedelson, Applebaum, Esquire the Third, MD, historian, citation needed.
Could be lag, but it's still scrolling through.
Oh, it should. It will. It takes a while. So
There it goes.
So what happened is there was a Conrail logo here. So here's the thing. When I made the NS one, I put the NS logo right on top of the silver thing because if I didn't do it right, certain parts of the logo would get screwed up on the actual panel. So I put the Conrail logo on here as well. The problem is, I don't know if you can tell from the previous thing, on the original decals texture, it also just so happens to say the magic words Conrail.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, thing happened, and I basically made it say Conrail.
Yeah, it's a
Conrail.
Conrail and the Conrail logo underneath where it says
Conrail, where the cons rail.
Conrail, which still has an active website to this day.
As it should. If they didn't have
Yes,
one, I'd be pretty
Conrail still has
concerned.
an active website to this day.
Yeah, for those who for those of you who have anti-foamer friends that said Conrail's dead, they're wrong.
It's just like the Space Jam website. That is still up too.
Well, no, because Shared Assets owns the website domain, I think. Casey, tell me if this looks like
Jam at the Space Jam is still up to this.
Does this look like a better gray for it? You'll see when it changes from white to gray. Does that look a little better, or should I make it more gray? I gotta look through.
I mean, it looks fine. The one you're putting on.
Sure, I can make it a little darker.
It's a little bit blue, but it looks okay.
What does the excess height text look like on Conrail? Is it black or is it white?
It's a dark gray. It's not black, but it's a dark gray.
Oh, is it? Let me go.
Yeah.
Excess.
You can reference the images I sent you too, as well in your DMs.
Amtrak excess height car.
Amtrak. Connecticut in a nutshell. You forgot the valley.
CSX. Move.
That was great, by the way. The CSX move shit.
Oh, that was the most fun shit. I'm gonna put it out for the community later. I'm excited for it.
I need it.
Casey, does that look like a proper excess height card color?
Yeah, hold on. I just went to my room for something. I have to go back, because you remember, the freaking Wii U was when I'm watching this thing.
All aboard Amtrak. Yeah. God, Railfan Stereotypes videos take me back every single time.
Yeah. That looks alright.
You'll notice that in Connecticut, Valley Railroad wasn't worth enough to be mentioned.
Exactly.
Just
It's like
Amtrak. Not even Metro North. Not even Metro North gets a mention.
Metro North or Shoreline East.
Because it doesn't matter.
The video was made before CT Rail, though, so we'll give
No. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? It's time to make those Shoreline East cars.
I also noticed that on the Steam Workshop, surprisingly, there are very few workshop scenarios of the M2s and M4s.
It's because they're. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm guessing everyone is getting lazy at this point to make scenario.
Now, possibly because the car cameras are finicky when using that when you're doing the editor, and after you finish it, the car with the camera doesn't go to the front, it goes to a different car.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't get me wrong, that M2 is a nice piece of work.
The Repo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Repo does some good stuff.
They told me they can make the ACMUs, it's just I need to get shit for them.
Now the only question is that for the M3, did they port it over from that? Did they port it over from repo, or did they actually build it from ground up?
Ground up.
Oh.
They
Yeah,
are
'cause they-
completely different.
Yeah, because they went up
about
to Hillside. This is probably when they visited the Long Island Railroad with the when they visited the MTA to get shit.
I mean, when you think about it, you know, the Metro North or Metropolitan Transportation, MTA, they're a big railroad. The M2s never would touch Long Island, vice versa with the M3s touching the Northeast Corridor in New Haven. They look similar, yeah, but they're all made for modifications and specifications for the specific route they would run on. They weren't intended to run on anything else. So, you know, in one way, you could look at an M2 and say, that looks a lot like an M3 and an M1. Yeah, it does, but they're completely different.
I mean, hopefully after this, they'll probably start doing either a German route or a British route, but they never did an Asian. They never did a route from Asia and Transcend World.
I mean, another thing that I think a lot of people would buy is if they do. I mean, if there was Dovetail didn't make this for Train Simulator, but like, forgot who it was. Just Trains that made the Metropolitan line. Like, there needs to be more metro routes in Train Simulator, especially the New York City subway.
Yeah, you know, you have people on the forums that they're trying to ask people, oh, make an MTA route for Transcend World.
I kind of want to help do it. It's just it's not going to be easy for one person to do it.
And it feels a bit impossible because people try to say, oh, do like, for example, there's one of them say, oh, do the A line, no, do the J line. You already know what Transcend World is gonna. There's probably gonna be some limitations.
It would be better to do it in Train Simulator since there's not really any limitation.
Yeah, if anything, they could either do the following. If they were to do something in New York, they probably should just take the world of subway approach and just either do the L07 or just do the Staten Island Railway.
The only thing that we would need is to get a whole bunch of different textures for objects of the elevated structures. Bunch of them.
Yeah, you mean for the Staten Island Railroad?
No, like for the elevated structure for the subway.
No.
I mean, the easier ones to do would probably be the 7, but also part of it would be the Astoria line point, since that's part of it.
It seems like if they were to do New York, the easiest thing for them to do would be the Staten Island Railroad. Yeah, but I'm just hoping after you do this, they probably do the U-Bahn.
The only problem is modeling the trains is something I'm not good at.
Yeah, neither am
I was talking about Uptown.
I had my mic muted, so because I had to go help my folks with something. But Casey, so that text looked like the fine.
The text looked all right.
I tried doing it in 3ds Max, and that shit was hard.
3ds Max requires 17. It requires as much training as it took Goku to run up the Mitro Way or whatever the heck it was.
Oh, it's Snake Way.
It requires like 36,000 years worth of work to get 3ds Max working.
I mean, I'm also going on what's that website? Turbo Squid, I think is it. There is some 3D models I can get that could work with trains. I mean, if just trains can make a subway route, I mean, it's not I mean, it is possible to make a New York City subway route, especially the virtual district line team made 3D metro route.
Oh, and also, what do you guys generally think of the NTP that NTP route? I think it was called North Transpierre. If I got the name right.
Train simulator for Android. Man, I hope like hell that we get a decent. I think I just heard a click from my main hard drive. That's scary.
Oh wow! What kind of click?
Just a click. One, right? I mean, it's probably just because it's old, but I mean, it's not one of those things where that hard drive's necessarily going to be booting a lot. The data I have, I just have to. All I would have to do is over the course of a night just back it up. It wouldn't mean I'd be able to do much else with the computer because backing up data is very intense.
Yes. Okay.
We're having dinner soon. I gotta make sure that I get these files compiled and tested before then.
Ken, I'll add.
And for anyone who is watching the stream that is not currently in this Discord channel, I will leave a list of all songs you hear, as well as probably like a timestamp for when each of them starts, so you actually know what they are. All except for like one have like a title.
Is the other one just like a compilation of music or something? Or from a compilation, I should say.
No, one of them is from a Doom mod. I don't know where it originally came from. It doesn't have the file name is like what is it? D_map02. Which just tells me that it was in a Doom 2 mod. The fucking oh, there's a what is this? XCOM? Why is there another XCOM game?
Here's a good question about Train Sim World. Does the menu theme have a title, like a song name? We all know what I'm talking about. That kick-ass menu theme for Train Sim World.
Oh, it's good.
It varies as you go through the menus.
Yeah, there's 2 layers. They both actually play at the exact same time. The difference is that one of them
they toggle between each other.
Yeah, the volume level between the two adjusts depending on which menu you're in. So the second.
No, I feel like
there's only 2. I thought there were 3.
Nope, there's 2 layers.
No, I feel like SWAT 4.
No, I thought when you're in the actual time selector area.
That's the second
like,
layer.
I thought that was
There's only 2 files.
Then what's the third one I'm thinking of?
You're probably thinking of the Train Sim World theme from Heavy Haul.
No, I mean the main menu soundtrack, whatever it is. Like you're in the menus, you hear it starting up, then you go to like the engine select, then it gets like a little bit less intense. Then
No,
it goes to
there's not a.
level.
I've looked. There isn't a third one.
Oh shoot! Wow.
The base game has 2. The first one is the one at the start screen and the main menu. That's layer 1. Layer 2 is when you go to select a timetable. That's the one. That's the other one. There's no third layer that I could find. The only other music layer I could find was the one that's the trailer theme that plays at the beginning nowadays with that whole inspirational generic music that clearly came from like Michael Bay's Wine Cellar.
I mean, like it's a cool cutscene though in the beginning.
It is.
You can't say there's a lot of interesting camera angles and whatnot.
Oh,
showcasing
absolutely.
A lot of the stuff off.
It just reminds me that I'm playing Train Sim World.
Definitely controlled from either a
dev command
or dev commands or a controller. That was not keyboard. I'm sorry, that was not keyboard and mouse.
No, it was probably an Xbox controller.
That's what I mean. It was probably controller, because like
the
I've
Xbox
done some
control
cool stuff
scheme
with, like, the
for
keyboard and mouse, but I can't do something like that. That's too impressive.
Oh no, the Xbox control scheme for TSW's camera is a million times better than keyboard.
It's fine-tuned and smooth. That's why.
Because it adjusts to the exact position of the analog stick.
It's like, how do I say it? Like, you know how Minecraft on my console was like, it was very one-to-one with how you move the controller? Like
I've never gotten to
like
play it on
your
Xbox, but the rest of the guys.
I mean, funny enough, I grew up on like the PS3 Minecraft before I got the computer version. And no, I actually got the computer version. Then I got someone taking me down to the PS3, and I was like, "This is completely different, but I like this better." Because like the camera just feels so
brilliant,
weird.
But I like.
But
this.
now I've come to appreciate like the mouse control and stuff, which is why I'm kind of getting really good doing stuff like that. But like the way that it is, it's like there's variable speeds you can control it at, right? And like the finest little nudge is gonna make you continuously like either turn your head or like move the character in one way instead of just, you know, WASD and the mouse controlling everything. I mean, I've grown to appreciate WASD recently, but you know, it's like in comparison for Train Sim World, however, it's a different story because
Oh, there's my nightmare.
you have to get used to a very sensitive mouse in the game.
I was married for 16
Every single time I see that MP15 reskin of mine, I get that thought in my back of my mind, like, I have to edit this more. I have to continue.
Which one, the Amtrak?
The Amtrak one. Because I've worked at it for so long, I get nervous when I use it now. Because, like, even when I run it in a Caltrain scheme, I'm still like, oh, that means I'm not testing the mod. I have to go back and work on the mod. Like, I've released the mod, like, 6 days ago. Like, I should be over it, but I...
You have more potential for it, but you know
No, it's not even that I
too
have
much
more
to work
potential
on.
for it. It's I don't want to touch it anymore. It hurts.
I was gonna say that, but you know you don't ever want to touch it again.
Listen,
The mapping horrors.
when Bepple Bubble Bibberton of Double Pupple Games hands me a shoe and goes, here's your MP15 with a proper texture mapping, I might actually eat the shoe because it might actually be worth a damn. Until that point, we have anime girls.
Until that point, we what? Hold on. Speak for ourselves. My prank on my Discord account being your alt, your dead alt, has not been changed to this day still.
Coming up! Right, apparently there's dinner, so I might do another live stream later to pick up on this, but right now I can't load the auto-rack until after the stream. So, anyways, if anyone wants to know, there will be a tutorial going out tonight if I write up my script on this, but anyways, this is as far as this particular part of the stream goes. I'm not going to keep the stream open and stuff for half an hour, so I'll be back in half an hour if anyone wants to still keep talking in the TSC. I'll be here, so, I will return, folks.
I'm probably gonna go myself too, so
This is the end of the stream
as far
for
as
now.
I'll be seen.
Alright.
Take it easy, everyone. Oh, there goes my.
Take it
yep,
easy,
I gotta
everyone.
go.
I'll see you later. Oh, there's Muff. Joins right at the last second. I have to go off to dinner, so I'll see you guys later.
All right.